I didn't go with a funny name like you said, Nick, because it was too much. I wanted to put in the title to go with just a ridiculous name. We could switch it. You know what? At the end of the show, we could discuss and maybe we could come up and we can have the chat vote on it or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up. You know.
Bang.
What do I
Got
do?
it. Did it.
Yeah, I lost.
Like way
Yeah.
ahead. Usually it's like one after the other.
Yeah, I just got it. I just got it. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta.
I just went with Ghostbusters sucked because I thought, and we'll get into that. That's not necessarily true, but you'll have to wait and see. I figured that was kind of clickbaity.
Clickbait.
Contra Costa Con, and then new Fats Doof review. Because I figured that's like the three big tiers of tonight's episode. Of course, we got a ton of other things we watched, and I know Nick D has a lot to say about X-Men. I hope he goes off, Queen, about that subject.
Get your fucking game faces on!
Because he went off in the car the other night on the way to Ghostbusters about it, and I didn't actually agree with him, but at the same time, I enjoyed what he said because he had a lot to say.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that later. But before all of that, Over the Show, episode 94. Not 97. That would have been great if it was at 97 for X-Men 97.
Yeah.
That would have been dope.
Yeah.
That
But it's not. It's 94. Over the Show. Tubi, Nick D, live from New York City, Jarvis Jerry.
Beep boo, bop boo. Oh, I should get an echo on that. Or maybe like, you know what? I might experiment with something there.
Work on
a little robot sound.
Make it
now,
kinda
and then-
digital,
yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Sound design.
Yeah. That's something to look into. How are we on audio? We look good. Let me
Check.
You're good. So let me just press play and see if this works real quick, and then we'll talk about
Justin Sadu. Welcome to
Welcome.
the show.
All right. No one talk for just 5 seconds. Okay, it works. All right. Sorry, boys. Justin, what's up, dude? So, Jerry, we're going to tell you about this because this involves me and Nick D. Nick D hit me up, or actually hit up me and BK about going to the Contra Costa Comic Con. Nick D, how did you find out about this?
There was like a poster, you know, like when you're getting off the freeway as if you're going to like Guitar Center,
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
and there's that overpass. There was just like a poster like this, like 1 foot by 1 foot, and
Right.
we're like, what is that? So yeah, like the most grassroots market.
Yeah. Yeah. and
We got, having said that, we got all the Sunday.
You got what?
All the information we needed. Very small sign, but it's had everything
yeah.
that was.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm down, bro. Let's roll. So we went to this, myself, Nick D's girlfriend, and this is their website. This gentleman was supposed to be there. This is Jim. Isn't it Jim? Wait, where's his name?
They probably took his name down because he's not.
No.
Since he wasn't there, they probably took his
No,
name
because Nick, this is a promotion for the next one. For see us at Halloween Con. Well,
But now they know they can't even rely on him, so they're not even gonna
is it?
show
I
his
think
name.
it's Jim Cummings, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, so this website, this is the website. This is Bay Area Festivals, but if you look at the actual website right here, it says Kids Festival Concord, Kids Fest Concord. You remember those that used to be at Tono Santos back in the day? I think
Didn't they used to have something in Great America too? Like I feel like they had like, didn't they have like a little like area of Great America for a minute?
I don't know.
I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm just getting mixed up, but I feel like that was a thing.
But yeah, so I mean, this is their website. It's a pretty basic website. Here's the event here, March 2025. Oh, so this is next year's already.
Get ready, boys.
Wow. Anyways, I was able to find this website here that had more information on a different banner here. What's confusing though is the last website said it was the 3rd annual. Oh, you know what? Next year's is the 3rd. That's why it said that, Nick D. Because it says next year. Okay, that makes sense. I'm tripping. It's 2025. Okay, yeah. So it was Jim Cummings.
Oh, that picture. My bad. Yeah.
Jim Cummings was the guy that was supposed to be there that did not show up, who was the voice of Hondo, if you're a fan of Rebels. He's also a character.
Dude, Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, he was also Darkwing Duck. But Hondo is the when you're getting on the Millennium Falcon ride, he's like there as a robot and talks to you at Disneyland. A little throw out there.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, like, my
Okay.
point is that like it's a pretty big character. Even if you haven't heard of it,
Yeah.
I'm reassuring you, this character is a big deal. So this guy was
People
supposed to be
know.
there. He didn't show up.
Okay.
There's your sponsors. This is all true. We got a free go-go squeeze. We got a bag of free goodies. The best thing in the bag of free goodies was the Contra Costa County Connection. That's the bus, the local bus service. Got a pencil. Pretty psyched off
Oh,
that.
I never even looked.
Yep, pretty psyched off that. And not on top of that, they also gave me a Contra Costa bus sticker.
That is dope.
Where are you gonna put the
Dude, I
sticker?
love
I'll
that.
put it on
I
my
hope I
my
have that.
water bottle. That's a classic Bay Area East Bay
Dude,
sticker
that's
right there, my
crazy.
friends. So
That's
pretty
crazy.
psyched off of both those little
Better
goodies.
have that.
The rest of the bag was just kind of junky flyers and stupid stuff. But it did have this one because homie that didn't show up now supposedly is coming to the Halloween version down in October. With all that being said, it was a fun event. There's more stories to be told, but I feel like we should start the video I made. This is just a really crummy, not crummy, but just a recap. I mainly filmed this so we could tell Jerry about it, as we're doing right now. I did have my favorite robot, Chat R2-2B, help me and did a little write up here. Not too bad. I really, yeah, it was a great write up.
You need to get a little R2-2B graphic.
Yeah, a little beep boop bop boop whenever I do it.
Yeah.
All right, tell me if this is too loud, boys. Like, let me know. And chat too, Jerry. Jeez, McGee's. Sadizzle, don't hold out at us. All right, off top.
True.
Quickly, a little pause real quick here. There was a ton of Jerry and Nick D. I don't know if you noticed this, but just a ton of 3D printed stuff for sale. It seems to be the new hot thing at the con, and I'm sure this is at a lot of different cons, not just our little local one. These booths just 3D printed stuff, you know, and
Yeah, I was wondering what that was.
they're cool, but like they also like all the 3D printed stuff looks the same to me.
How big were they?
Those were decent size, you know, but the feel, the texture of them, and like the exterior, like I've seen some people online that do this kind of stuff. They do this certain sanding afterwards and like really put some effort into it, and then they paint them and stuff, and you can make something 3D. I'm not hating on all 3D printing. I just think that there's different tiers to the extent, and a lot of this was very in the middle. You know?
Yeah.
It was just like, this stuff's cool, but you could tell it's 3D.
Did you happen to
printed.
see? Did you see any of the prices on this? Like, what were they even going?
I did not, Nick. That's another thing. I never saw the
neither. I didn't
prices on
even-
any of it because I didn't really
didn't
like
even
pick
think
any of
to
them
look.
up.
Yeah.
Helmets made out of it, you know. This was cool.
Yeah.
That's dope.
You can't hear right now, but Nick D's trying to talk me into taking a photo with it. I was very resistant of that, and we ended up not taking a photo with it, which I was glad. This
That
child,
kid right there
Yeah.
starts dancing with him, and I was like, oh, let's not.
yeah, that camera's actually gonna pan to Nick D. Yeah. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Those action figures real quick. Then we saw this cool Batman thing, Nick, remember?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I filmed that and the aliens.
That was dope.
But those figures,
That's a great shot, right?
that shot didn't really do them justice. Those action figures were like the size of like my water bottle. Like they were like a big one, you know? It was cool. Whatever.
They were dope. There was like Boba Fett.
Nick ended up buying a bunch of stickers, got me one, got BK one. He didn't get you one, Jer. He actually said,
spoiler.
I'm not well, this is the part of the show where we're telling you this. He legit said, I'm not going to get Jer one of these.
Yeah. I believe it. He probably turned to you all.
Yeah.
Was about to pick one up, stopped, and was like, I'm not doing this.
That's who he was telling, was the guy working there. He's like, my brother, he lives in New York. I'm not getting him one of these. And the guy's like, that's weird, man, but thanks. And then like just kind of took Nick's money. I didn't capture that moment exactly.
Because you were stunned. You were like, wow.
But all jokes aside, this dude actually had really cool art. Something I should have filmed and I didn't really get a good feature on, but he had the starting like lineup of the Warriors, the current lineup, which is kind of a bunch of like random players currently. If you're following, obviously this dude lives in the Bay Area, but this is the most random like just.
Yeah.
He had like the main ones, you know what I mean, Jared? But then like these like
and then
random Warrior players, like what? Like bench dudes and stuff. Like okay. But yeah, it was like Marvel, Disney, Star Wars, the Warriors.
Yeah.
Very nice dude though. Super friendly. Shout out to him for sure.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Art of grips. Let's see, shout him out. I don't know. We'll find out.
Now I threw this in there because let me ask you something, Jerry. Isn't it kind of weird? This pop had to have been made after allegations have been made. Isn't it kind of weird that they went ahead and like are still making like, I mean, look, I still love the music, but you know, the allegations are the allegations, and you're making figurines like this. It's just kind of odd. I thought it was odd. I didn't know that they had made that.
So I wonder. I wonder if it's the Jackson family or if like somebody
kicking ass.
A record label or something.
Yeah, like who owns his likeness image? But you know, his kids got to eat.
Yeah.
And is that what is he wearing?
The silver outfit, the silver like thing. Then he has the gold band right here.
Okay.
It's a classic Michael pose, but
Get your fucking kicking ass, taking names.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty dope.
Was he pointing at you?
I don't know.
It looks like
you and Angelica were standing right next to me on this side of me.
But you know what's funny is that I don't even think I clocked that. Like I don't think.
I think you were looking maybe off.
Yeah.
Sorry, just moving my chair. I want to spin it.
The 5-0 verse was there, super deep. Probably like I don't know, 15, 20 of them. Most of them were in their actual costumes. Quite a few stormtroopers, Darth Vader, a bunch of Mandalorian folk. That's Sabine right there. There was this one bounty hunter dude. I made the comments, Nick. I'm going to say it again. It was just absurd, Jerry. He had his gun. Cool. And they all walk around like that, where they hold it like this. They love to do that one, you know. That's their walk.
Okay, yeah.
And this fool had like a 6-foot-long freaking...
I almost think it was bigger than... It was taller.
It was ridiculous, Jer. It was just like absurd. It was like so comical long. It wasn't
like
even
literally
cool.
Walking around with a ladder. Yeah, it's like
he like made it not cool because he went so ridiculous with the length. Am I wrong, Nick D?
It was just like funny. Like it was just wow. Because you couldn't even see him like do it.
No.
Like it was just holding it up. So
No, if he went to do it, he would knock boosts and stuff if he had to put it. It was absurd, Jer. It was absurd.
Yeah.
I didn't get I should have got a moment of that. I missed the opportunity.
You could always see where he was. You could see like the thing above walking.
Yeah, and then the other 501st first people are always in the vest. Or or these wild shirts they all have.
Yeah. Hot Wheels is represented.
Yeah, there's a big Hot Wheels track. Okay, that dude, I didn't get a good shot of him.
That's kind of cool.
His
Oh yeah,
Mandalorian
his
outfit
whole
was made
suit.
out of Legos.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
That
Oh, I see
that
it
whole
now.
thing is made out of Legos.
Yeah, it was pretty
Whole
cool.
thing. I wish I would have got a better
I see
shot
it
of
now.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
The helmet too.
that's cool that you got him.
Oh, he's putting it on.
Like that's a cool
He's putting
shot,
it on.
Okay, so this is the
Harry.
dude. You should. Can you steal? I was gonna say like scrub him out and have that be like a gift, like putting on a
McGovern.
helmet.
now this gentleman was the voice
Terry.
was a voice of a lot of different. Maybe I should pull it up.
I can pull that up on the side and just give you the data verbally.
Yeah.
Verbal data.
Yeah, you can read off some of his IMDb stuff.
Is that McGovern?
He was
Am I reading that right?
he was clearly the big big
Terrence,
celebrity
Because we don't know him.
of who was at the event the day we were there, or the only day they did it. The event was from 10 to 4, Dick T.
Yeah, I think so. 10 to 4. And it's funny that I thought we like arrived like
He was
late.
in
I
Mrs.
think we hit it when
Doubtfire.
it had- Oh,
Ms. Doubtfire, okay.
He was a Launchpad.
He was
voice.
Launchpad and
Yeah,
Tailspin.
Launchpad
DuckTales.
and
And
He's in
DuckTales,
that-
yeah,
We're
my
gonna be
bad.
there.
He's in the THX 1138 movie. He's
With
the
George
announcer.
Lucas? Oh, wow. Damn, dude.
I
I should have went up and talked to this dude. We dropped the ball on that one, Nick D. Next year.
Yeah,
Next year.
Yeah, yeah.
And we had easy
we went in
opportunity.
very unprepared.
Yeah.
So a
It
lot
was
of
empty.
voice
We could have
acting.
like busted out the camera and been like, "What's up?"
What's Star Wars voice acting? Because I see that there's a couple clone troopers right here, so he must be in some type of Star Wars something.
He does a lot of like video game stuff. Like he was in
Okay.
Batman Begins video game, Godfather video
Who is he in Batman Begins?
games. Additional voices.
Cool. Godfather voice.
Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds.
Okay.
He's a
Cool.
stormtrooper
Yep.
and a Jedi
Cool.
Knight.
Okay, that makes sense.
Star Wars
Awesome.
Episode 1, Battle for Naboo, Cole Kotha,
Okay.
Traitor, Pac-Man,
Okay.
Professor Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
Wow.
Oh,
He was another stormtrooper. Dead or Alive 2. He was Base Armstrong.
Oh, okay.
what a name.
Star Wars X-Wing Alliance.
We get the idea.
Admiral Akbar. No.
Okay, continue.
Terrence.
General
deserves
Akbar.
this.
Okay, continue.
That's a
Yeah, so a lot
Big
of stuff like that.
Akbar.
Just a lot of additional voices.
Well, I kind of
besides
skipped over him.
Launchpad.
So this is the big
think
shot
so.
I got.
Oh yeah, he's Admiral Akbar.
that's it.
There he is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Tell him how he does it. How he did it in
The
Mrs.
cool little
Doubtfire.
Ewok display they had for photo
Mhm.
ops. Okay,
He's
Yeah,
so
in
yeah.
Jack.
this is Nick D's buddy he made, his booth.
Yeah, yeah.
I was over filming some stupid. I think I was filming the Ewok little clip, and then I turned around and Nick D was at this booth, and Angelica had already like disappeared as well. She had left Nick D because I think she had
Guy's
seen-
energy was like
he'd gone
yeah.
into the black hole of at this comic book booth. And I come on over and start looking at comics with Nick D. And this guy has some really cool stuff, dude. Some like epic
Yeah.
stuff. Prices are absurd, Jerry. Absurd. So then he hops up out of the seat and he starts talking to me and Nick. And he's kind of seeming, in my opinion, he seemed chill at first.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I asked him, like, oh, man, because I think I asked him this before he went on the whole X-Men rant. I think, because then he started flipping through them, right, Nick? That's when he went on the X-Men rant.
Yeah, yeah.
I said, hey, man, what's your favorite comic? And this fool just, like, death stared me. Just death stared me,
Oh.
frozen. Until Nick D, like, popped up and said something. I don't even remember what Nick said, but just broke the silence. Or, like, Nick said something about, like, he doesn't read them. He just slang them or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
And then from there, and that was awkward. So I already felt like, oh, that was weird. So I went back to just kind of
Yeah.
looking through a box, right? And he gets in between me and Nick D into one of the boxes, and he pulls out all the X-Men, and he's like slapping them down and showing them to Nick. But then he starts going off about how he has older ones and better ones, but they're all in the wrong effing order because these young people show up and they put X-Force in the middle. X-Force should be in the back, these motherfuckers. Like, dude, it was kind of
Oh, wow.
spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's like going off about like he made some. Well, we probably shouldn't even say what the
he had that
remark
sign,
was.
like
Oh,
20% off.
he went off about how he was gonna go postal, quote unquote, which is like an old school term for like shooting up the place, which was like, whoa, dude, that's wild. But like this guy had to be like late 70s. Like I'm talking like he was an older gentleman, dude, a very older gentleman. Like he looked like he also kind of had the shakes loosely. You know what I'm saying, Nick D?
Yeah.
Like you could easily bump him, Jerry, and he would have been like catered on the ground.
Okay. Yeah.
I bet setting up that whole thing was a lot. I bet setting up that whole thing.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it makes sense that like
he was worn out.
I'm sure there was a lot. Yeah, and like the only ones that were showing interest. So, you walk up there and you're like, this is so dope, and then you look at the price and you're like, oh.
Do you remember when we first walked up? There was two younger dudes that looked like they might have been relatives of him, and they were looking at their phones. And actually, I looked over at them. They were picking the seats for a movie. And talking to each other.
They were gonna go see Ghostbusters.
They were talking to each other. I think those might have been maybe. I honestly think those were his grandkids.
I didn't even think about that.
When he was yelling about the X-Men thing, I swear he was probably talking because coincidentally they had left and gone away while because Nick was really looking through all the comics, so they left.
Yeah,
and that's when he popped up.
Star Wars shit.
Long story short, we were at this booth the longest. It wasn't even that big of a booth. You're gonna see in this clip how big this booth is. So we're like right in there with him. And then finally, like, I feel like Angelica came back over and kind of grabbed your brother. And I'm glad she did. Yeah. And then we escaped.
Yeah.
So, because I knew no one was buying. No one was buying, though. It was like, we're not going to buy anything. These prices are ridiculous.
And it was brutal because it's like, I wanted to. Like, I was like, I think this guy's cool. I think he's funny. Like, I think he's got like a, you could tell he's kind of angry with the con, but like, I thought he had a good energy. And I'm like, dude, he had such cool stuff. But like, even like, he was like, oh, everything's 20% off. But it's like, 20% off $200.
Yeah.
It's like, what? For a single issue? Like, it's like, bro, I'm trying.
This is the whole booth. Okay, yeah, he had this. This is a Hot Wheels cover, and it's Santa Claus driving some crazy sleigh.
Running
over that couple. Okay, and then, okay. We go from one story to another. This isn't that big of a story, but if you remember Return of the Jedi, this gentleman's playing an instrument at Jabba the Hutt's palace. He kind of looks like, in my opinion, has a very like almost Freddy Krueger-esque with like a dreadlock. Alien Freddy Krueger with a dreadlock. I didn't think about
that, yeah.
Right?
Like it.
This is the only other celebrity that had a booth doing autograph signings. And this is the most random AK Rev. There he is, David Gonzalez. He was the gentleman. He was the gentleman standing in the back. I don't think he was the one in the cosplay.
Oh, the one in the costume.
I think that
bummer.
Or do you think I'm wrong?
He was the guy in the back.
Which one do you think?
I don't know.
I have no idea. I didn't even think about it. Like I you know what I mean? I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Which one is the guy? Probably, I think the guy in the costume. And that's probably like, his buddy or something. There to help out. Like maybe his assistant.
I'll look it up.
And then Nick G.
He's got this guy's stuff. This guy's stuff was like, it just felt like there was like weight to it, and everything was made with like metal. Didn't feel cheap.
Yeah, I love these
Definitely
guys.
The best lightsaber I've ever picked up.
Yeah, I mean they also had the you can't. It's right there on the end. Actually, it's the like rainbow sword from Sailor Moon.
Yeah,
right there.
That gold one.
That gold one on the end is the rainbow right here. And they had these are all replicas of different like actual lightsabers from the movies and the video games.
Yeah. Is the one that he pointed out to me, is that supposed to be Ahsoka's? That black one? What one is like the katana that he specifically?
Oh no, that's the dark saber. He had the dark saber.
Oh, yeah.
Dark Saber, yeah.
Because he definitely. I wonder if that's like his newest one because he was like, check this.
Yeah. And that one that one also felt
That's dope.
maybe the cool. Yeah.
It did, yeah, it did.
Really cool. Like, yeah, if you're in the business of buying I don't know nothing about nothing. So I don't know if this compares to the Disney ones because I know that they have that crazy build your own lightsaber shop and it costs a pretty penny. This is something BK should look into because I know he kind of wants to get one of those. I don't really have I don't really have an interest in, especially putting the light in. If I was gonna get one of those, it would purely be to put the metal part on display. These have the capabilities that you can cosplay fight, Jerry, and they actually he showed us.
Like wow,
against each other. Yeah.
It was really cool how with Kylo Ren had that sputter effect.
Mm-hmm.
Like how Kylo Ren seemed like unstable. Like he gave us like a whole little rundown.
Oh, Fats, I'm glad you're here. We're about to be getting into you in a minute.
Welcome.
Yeah, these dudes, I just love that costume. That's my like favorite Stormtrooper costume. How to get that.
Lakers.
This gentleman's wasn't as good. Okay, so here, Jerry, I'm going to say this last thing and then we'll let this play out. This is, right before we left, this is me taking one full lap across the whole entire property.
Okay.
And we have, it's at 2:46 out of 5 minutes. So you're going to see how big this walk is.
Going counterclockwise. Wild.
Yeah. Look at that Street Fighter Blanca, that Mortal Kombat G.I. Joe right there. Oh, I'm even looking at it. Look at that portion. Better
foreshadowing.
Nick was looking at it in real life and in the recap. There's the
cartoons. Oh wow, they had a couple of those.
Yeah, they had quite a few. Yeah, and they were all for Make-A-Wish Foundation, which is pretty cool. Make-A-Wish Foundation was a big sponsor there.
Funko.
That's Nicky's buddy. That's Nicky's buddy.
In the blue?
No, the hat guy, right? Sitting down. The old man sitting down. Yeah.
Hat friends.
Yes.
Brother and sister.
Yeah, that was creepy, right? I had to get that. These full-blown katanas.
Are those swords?
Yeah,
full-blown. Regular.
Yeah.
A lot of
shit. You guys take a picture at Endor?
Nah.
No. I think you had to pay. I don't know.
Yeah, we didn't even.
Wow,
yeah,
it wasn't worth it to you guys. Okay.
Nah.
You know what I do want to do?
There's that one guy, and there's the other guy in the corner. Go ahead, Jared.
Dork I'm not doing is the. I for sure would do one of those weekends of like learn how to lightsaber twirl.
Oh yeah.
I'd film you doing it.
I'd go to.
I honestly don't even think I need a class. I think I've already.
I mean, you could show them a few tricks.
Exactly. I get put on a. Yeah.
We're also thinking about getting a booth next year at this event, so you're gonna see a few open booths. Imagine us there next year. So just to throw that out there.
Are you gonna bring like your collection just to show off, or?
Oh no,
the pie throwing.
We were literally just gonna set up like the podcast booth, and like me and Nick D are just gonna sit there.
And just talk about it. Oh,
we're gonna try to stop people live and get them to come up and be like, "What's your favorite Star Wars moment?"
Yeah.
You should have like Star Wars food you guys make or something. I don't know. Eat our bar.
I'm not selling any type of food products. That's an industry. You know, I stick to grip. Maybe we'll hand out some grip tape.
Well,
maybe we'll hand out some.
Just give it away.
There you go.
Maybe we'll have it be Star Wars.
A custom.
Sloth themed. Yeah, whatever. Here we go. This is row 2.
Contra Con.
Oh, got that guy good.
What's that? Full costume. Dope.
There was a CBD stand giving out CBD. See, there's the 2 empties that we're going to be at next year. Right here, the CBD people right here. Oh, this gentleman, I should have filmed this one, Nick D. We actually...
Pretty sweet.
That hands down the coolest.
The prices were heavy, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy it. But that is one of those things that, like, I would never buy it. But if, like a gift for
explain
someone,
what it is.
Oh,
explain what it was.
What I mean? They're pins with, like, pieces of movie memorabilia. It's like, oh, that's dope. Like, and they had they had like Marvel shit and everything, but they had a pen with a part of Michael Jordan's jersey.
But what, like 1/8?
$200
like 1/8 though, like 1/8,
like a shred,
like literally like. of his jersey in
Yeah.
this pen. This gentleman right here was selling.
They had a part of the Ant-Man costume. They had
These
I
are
think
all the
Doctor Strange
pens.
tape.
Yeah.
They had cells from like Disney things. They're like, here's like a little piece of Pocahontas.
How do you know? How do you know he just didn't take
I mean, exactly.
red-
Yeah.
red thread?
He seemed legit. I feel like this guy seemed like a straight shooter.
Yeah.
Did he have his authenticity certificates?
They did. Yeah.
I bet he sold.
They did.
Yeah,
They had
I bet-
authenticity
yeah, I bet.
certificates. But like also, Jerry, they're through his company, so they're his certificates. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't really know what's going on with that. You know, he had like little stamps on them and everything. That booth had some
booth
really
was
cool
also the
stuff.
coolest booth.
Yeah,
There was
some
just
old action
old
figures.
stuff.
Yeah, that's another booth that just people 3D printing.
Oh, was she cosplaying as Leia?
yeah.
Was her hair
No,
just...
Queen Amidala or Natalie Portman. You know, you also notice like, dude, it's either 3D printed stuff, normal action figures, but like a lot of pops, booths of just pops.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Another that was the only other comic book booth
That's what
right
makes-
there. That was new age stuff, different from what the other gentleman had.
Yeah.
Way more
Okay.
pops.
Yeah.
And then you're back. We're back at the.
Plushes.
There was like 3 or 4 independent artists.
That is what makes it. Yeah. All pretty cool.
That was dope.
Yeah. I'd go again.
Yeah, that was it. This is the website. If
how's-
you're looking for more information, anyone that is watching that is here locally in the East Bay, here's my final review. And we'll move on to the Fats Pizza review. It was really cool for local youth because to them it would probably seem big and really cool, you know. And then they had the Chopper, R2D2, a ton of the 501st in the Stormtrooper outfits, really cool. As a grown, full-blown adult, it was pretty kind of... There wasn't a lot, and there wasn't enough artists or whatever to make it more interesting to where I felt like, you know... There was some good toy stands that the dudes were reselling, but I'm not in the business of buying, so it wasn't like I cared, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm down to support it. Like, would I go back next year? Yeah, sure. It's cool to support that. Dude, it's at the Concord Hilton. It's the Contra Costa Con. You know, I mean, come on, like that's so small
Yeah.
and local. So that's cool. I hope they keep doing it. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Nick D, anything to wrap it up on?
That was cool. Definitely go again. Like, I think it's worth checking out. Yeah. I think, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, I guess it's like, you know, kind of a newish thing.
We might go to the Halloween one.
It's like, yeah, just keep. Yeah, I'm for sure down to go to the. I actually kind of think personally that the Halloween one is cooler because I feel like the Halloween one, just by the very nature, can be bigger because like everyone loves Halloween.
Yeah, it's not.
I thought this was a comic convention and showed up and it's like, oh, this is a Star Wars,
Yeah, full blown
which
Rebels.
is cool. But it's like I feel like you don't even like it. Like I went to a thing and got something different. Halloween, I feel like everyone's like, I know what that's gonna be like, monster cosplay and monster merchandise, and it's like, you know, like that's dope. I want a bunch of Michael Myers shit and stuff like that. Get like the Hellraiser box.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, I mean, yeah, we'll go back. And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm down to go to the Halloween one. It sounds like Nate D is. We'll go to the Halloween one.
Yeah.
And we'll film that.
Yeah.
And we'll come back and we'll have
Yeah.
another video on that. I don't know. It looks like they got. What was the schedule? Oktoberfest. Not really into. Kid Fest. I don't know. Maybe we take Alessandra and we can film it.
Yeah. A little book fair.
Oh, the book fair.
Super holiday boutique.
She's
Maybe
not
get
really
some,
reading
like,
yet, but
boutique holiday stuff.
I don't know.
Barbecue.
Interesting
stuff.
enough, the
Oh, there you go.
Halloween one's not even all listed on here, Nick D.
Yeah.
Even
They want
though-
to keep that one on the down low. It's gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be crazy.
But then it says it here, or it did.
Yeah.
I was wrong. The Brooklyn Comic Con is in June.
Oh, you should
June.
you should go
Okay.
and do a little
Okay.
recap video for us, Jerry.
I kind of want to.
I'd be down.
June 8th. Isn't that BK's birthday?
Yeah, it is.
I want to see who their special guests are. Oh my God. Walter E. Jones. The Black Power Ranger. Rikishi. I'm going.
What? Dude,
That's what-
Rikishi?
I mean,
I'm not even kidding. I was looking up
And then
Rikishi clips 2 days ago. I was
Do-
looking up shit the other day. Love Rikishi.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go
In June?
June
what is
8th
it?
and
What
9th.
is it? I'm confused at Trainer's Tavern's comment. Also, you guys would love Frank and Sons. Look it up. It's Evergreen Convention in LA. Endless vendors. Huh.
Okay.
What the hell is that?
Evergreen, like is that like farm stuff? Is that like John Deere stuff?
We'll look that up in a
Evergreen?
minute. Let's before we get into that, let's just dive into this Fats Pizza thing.
It's a
You know what?
collectible show.
Here we go.
We're in Berkeley, California at Pizza Delora. She opened up a shop a year ago. This is her 1-year anniversary and they're giving away dollar slices. So we got here a couple pepperonis and a couple vegetarians. Test it out, see what it's like. A lot of people don't know, but Italy is known for pizza. This is supposed to be a really good spot, so let's try it. Good undercarriage.
Little floppy.
Fine. She worked under Tony for like 10 years. Tony's the best. She's great with veggie. Let's do it. What we got here is zucchini and onion.
The audio is
Oh,
kind of horrible
very
being
floppy.
inside a parking garage.
Oh, send it
Are you
this
in a
way, buddy.
garage?
I can clean it up for you.
Fantastic. Zucchini.
Take
Next
me,
time, Jer. Next
second.
time.
Beautiful. I love the yeast they use too. It's that high octane yeast.
And that was fresh, and you guys like just went right there and ate it.
Yeah.
Finished. It was a really good spot. Pretty
It's
much
very
just
floppy.
Tony's. She learned from the best, so she's up there. Highly recommend it. You know, hit it up. Sit down. It's a nice restaurant. If you feel like you need some good pizza, Pizza Delora, Berkeley, California. Hit it up. Peace. In the Middle East Bay. Final thought.
Final thought. Hell yeah, Simone. Loved it.
We'll throw it back one more time. Any questions or concerns? Chat.
Yeah, look too floppy. Look too floppy. That's
The
my
pizza
thing.
did.
Did you try it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that.
When you see the slices, I got
We're in Berkeley,
And
Hold
so,
California, at
Right.
Pizza Delora.
Pizza
She
Delora.
opened up a shop a year ago. This
And
is
so-
her 1 year.
were they soggy or is it?
no. They
like,
were
was it
they were
still
perfect.
crisp?
They were perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. That's
to,
fine.
to be honest, my comment about it, and he mentioned the Tony thing in this, but he didn't give any explanation to who Tony was or what that meant. But Tony, the chain or whatever here in the Bay Area,
Gemini.
the pizza is like identical. It's pretty much like there's a Tony's now
Okay.
restaurant, a sit-down restaurant with a parking garage next to it. Just to point that out, because the one in SF is kind of a bitch for parking.
Same with downtown Walnut Creek.
But the one in downtown Walnut
Hate
Creek,
parking
the
in
one
that.
in downtown Walnut Creek is a Slice House, though. I'm saying that this is a.
Yeah. I just mean getting to Tony's
Oh, I mean,
never-
yeah. But I'm not gonna drive out to Berkeley
yeah.
because there's no freeway too. So you think about it, you got to take Shattuck all the way down. But as a restaurant,
Yeah.
like let's say you want to go for a sit down, you wanted to take Angelica to a
Yeah.
nice restaurant, right, dude?
Yeah.
This is a lot easier to get to and get out of in the East Bay, as far as restaurants concerned. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not dealing with the bridge or any of that, you know. So that's really
yeah.
cool. And she studied under him. It sounds like she's got the blessing. The pizza
Hell
is
yeah.
floppy because it's so big, though. That's the only reason. It's a
And-
20-inch pizza.
You should have folded it in half then, dog.
It was really small.
Turtle style.
Like, okay, let's get to that part real quick.
Anniversary, and they're giving away dollar slices. So
See, they're giving away dollar slices for the 1-year anniversary. Fats explains it right there. So Fats told me, and Fats, I know
Amazing.
you're here in the chat, that he thought that 3 of these mini slices was equivalent to 1 slice. So that's about the normal size of a normal Tony slice. So if you ate 3 of them,
Okay.
you would be eating an average Tony slice. If we're going by
Okay.
Tony slice knowledge here, if you're from the Bay Area.
So these are thinner, narrower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
I got one pep, one of the zucchini veggies. Fat's got a pep, a zucchini, and a broccolini. The last one on the far right end, is the broccoli. We shot this video. Fats ate his slices. He didn't eat the whole slices, but he tried them. We filmed the video. Then, between the final thoughts,
See what it's like. A lot of people don't know, but
I ate my slices, and then we got in the car. Also, we got in the car because, dude, like the Berkeley, this is right next to Berkeley Rep, if you're familiar with the local area. So we're in the Berkeley Rep parking lot. There must have been a show about to start, so a lot of parents with kids were pulling up to go to like probably a musical or something that afternoon. So that's why you hear a bunch of noise and jibber jabber.
so
Yeah. Okay, see, you fold the first one, but
Still floppy with the fold.
still a little floppy.
Yeah.
But you guys are saying it's still crisp. That was my big
it
thing.
was
That,
perfect, dude.
you guys are saying it's not floppy because it's soggy. I do not like that. So the fact that you're saying like, no, it's still good, that's fine.
That one,
But that just looks.
yeah, but that was
fade.
like a neck breaker.
Do they have anything that Tony's doesn't? Like, do they do anything different? Like, or is it still? Do they have like pastas and
So-
meatballs?
So this is
That's
this is the slice options if you're going just to get a slice. Now, like
Okay.
as you see, we start over again. So that's the main doorway here to get inside, right? The restaurant, it's a pretty decent sized restaurant. Very nice layout. And then over here in this other gate opening, it's gonna be the and these shots right there is the slice room or whatever you want to call it, the to go room. Okay, there's your menu, so we can look. I think it's a pretty similar menu to Tony's, but you have all the different options. You got your Sicilian, your Detroit, your grandma, or your Jerry, your New Yorker, and you could do any of these toppings on any of those.
That's kind of cool.
They had some pastas. They had a calzone right here, Nick D. Your little salads.
love a good calzone.
Your pastas are there.
That's sick. Yeah, I'm gonna try this.
I'd like to go and sit down. So yeah, this is the doorway
Yeah.
to get the slices. It's off to the left side of the restaurant. It's right across the street from Half Price Books, Berkeley.
we're in Berkeley,
Love half-price books.
California, at Pizza Delora. She opened up a shop a year ago. This is her 1-year anniversary, and they're giving away dollar slices. So we got here a couple.
Simone says, yeah, the whole menu is different except for the New
See what
York,
it's like. A lot of people don't
which
know,
the slices.
but Italy is
Okay,
one of the
sick,
best.
sick,
It's
sick,
supposed to
sick.
be a really good spot. So let's try it.
And then he's saying that the next one you guys doing the Nick's Sourdough Oakland.
Good undercarriage.
Yeah, but that's not this. Fats is just Fats just giving away spoilers here, bro. Fats, keep your mouth shut, bro. Keep your mouth shut.
No, that's not a spoiler. I'm hyped. That's foreshadowing. That's
Zucchini and onion.
I'm never watching again because he spoiled that.
Yeah, he just jump into the credits.
well. I wanted to. I only Brent brought it up. Oh, sourdough. Sorry about that.
I didn't get a chance to edit that because I had to do the Contra Costa Comic-Con. That's what it is.
Just finished. It was
CJ, we
really
ate
spot.
the
Oh,
rest of the
yeah, yeah.
slices
We're doing
now,
the best, so she's up.
and then boom.
Yeah, sit down. It's a nice restaurant. If you feel
Oh.
like you need some good pizza,
My
go
chair
for it.
playing the
California,
keyboard.
hit it up. Peace. In the middle.
Karina's chair. I'm in
Your
her chair
chair's
again.
hit the button?
What?
The chair hit the button.
Yeah, because the arm where the arm is, and I turned, and
Get your
so
fucking game. Jump cuts! Jump cut!
so Rikishi has a comic book that I feel I should buy
What?
and then bring to the thing and have him sign.
That's not a bad idea.
I think that would be amazing. Dude, you should try to do the dance. You get Karina to film you. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
God,
Can we just do
Jerry,
like
you
a
piece of
quick
shit.
two-step?
Oh my God, that was weird.
Yeah.
That'd be good. That would be good if you got the clip of you and him doing the dance.
I'm
That
sure
would be
people
so
ask him all the
sick.
time.
Yeah. Can I just get like a quick one?
All right, so this is the last thing. Then we're gonna jump right into the movie reviewies. We've been doing a experiment here on Over the Show. If you remember, Jerry filmed this clip where he was in an empty movie theater seeing Madam Web,
Madam Web. Yep.
and that got a bunch of views. So since then, every time a big box office film comes out that is supposed to do good, whether it does or doesn't, we've been releasing these videos. This one only got 14 views.
Yeah.
Beating last time. I think the last time we did this experiment, we got Dune 2 got 8 views.
Some more.
Yeah.
I think you're on to the whole it's so great seeing all of them. The worse a review is, the more interest people are seeing that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think with the Madam Web, people wanted it to be bad, so they were looking it up for information for it being bad, and we just happened to be at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
I kind of thought the same was going to be with Ghostbusters, which now I guess, Jerry, I will full screen if you want to share your window, and we can jump into that stuff. Because we saw Ghostbusters, and, you know, here's a little funny little story that involves Nick D. On the way to Nick D's house, BK had swooped me and Fats, and on the way to Nick D's house, I was telling BK, like, oh, yeah, man, like, the Rotten Tomato review, and he's like, don't tell me. He's like, I don't want to know what people are saying yet.
Mm-hmm.
We pulled
Didn't want to be influenced.
Nick D hops on in, and within, like, the first few seconds of pulling out of his driveway, it's like, so, man, like, the reviews for this movie, like, it's or something. I forget what he says.
Like, dude, it's getting torn apart.
Yeah, something like that. And it was so funny because we had just been talking about it. Yeah, right before picking him up.
Yeah.
And I just started dying of laughter because the way Nick said it too was super funny. It was just so good. But yeah, the review on it before we saw it was like in the 40 percentile for the Rotten Tomato. Whether you give a shit about that or not, but I was like, man, that's not looking good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, Nick. What did you think of the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire?
I didn't think it was all that bad, to be honest. Like, I thought it was just like the last one. Like, it was, like, it's fine. It's by no means my favorite Ghostbusters. It's definitely meant for like a younger audience, but it's like I genuinely didn't think it was bad. Like, it's like
heard the noise, Jerry. Maybe
villain's pretty boring.
Yeah, just shared.
But
shared it.
Kumail's great. Slimer's in it. I like these red coats, which we think might be a reference to that like new Ghostbusters show. I don't know.
You think this was on par with the last one, huh?
I don't think it's any better or worse. Like, I think they're both.
I think it's I thought it was a bit worse. Personally,
I could see that. But yeah, like it's definitely like maybe like like a bit worse, sure. But it's like I definitely don't think it like fell off or anything. Like, I guess I did think it was cooler when it was in like rural America in the last one.
It was more interesting. It was more interesting that way. Yeah.
Like Ghostbusters New York is great, but yeah, I do think the last one had that charm.
I feel like
at least in a different setting. And I think it would have been amazing if you got Sigourney Weaver, but I get it. Probably wasn't feeling it.
Off tops, like I mean, this isn't even a spoiler because it's in the freaking trailers and stuff. But like the whole final fight scene with that monster dude, which they show in the trailers, which I think was also kind of lame, was a whack fight, and it also like kind of voids the whole idea of them being in New York. Like that image just showed you right there. The whole final fight takes place at their base, which makes sense as far as how they wrote it in, where they're like trying to protect the downstairs thing. Can't think of what that's called right now. And that's
just the tank.
The tank, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But all this images that you're seeing here, Jer, where it looks like they're fighting them in New York City, that's not really what happens in the movie. And I think that, number one, is why I personally was a little disappointed by it. Not disappointed, but like I feel like it could have been better if they were actually in New York. Like they were building up this whole in New York, like the very beginning fight scene, which is where the young lady is in the chair and she swoops out. That was also in the trailer. That's a really cool whole little scene. That's probably the highlight of the movie, to be honest. It's the first opening scene, and then from there on out, it kind of, in my opinion, goes downwards. Um, Another thing to me personally is it was too much character jibber jabber and not enough like it was like personal jibber
Ghost
jabber and not enough ghosts, like the ghost thing being the real main focus
Yeah.
in my opinion. The bad guy also, and this is the same with any franchise.
You don't spend any time with
If the bad guy sucks, the movie sucks, and this bad guy sucked.
Yeah.
And that's easy
Yeah.
for me to how I break it down. Like I love Ghostbusters, and I really wish this was good and better. But I just feel like the bad guy sucked. It didn't work. They focused too much on like, and the thing too to me, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but the first two Ghostbuster movies were like a group of like what 30 to 40-year-olds, the dudes like the Ghostbusters,
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
and then like making it like this like youth thing. I get it, but like I don't think that Ghostbusters was Goonies or
I agree.
Yeah, no, it like, Ray was a scientist.
yeah, and
then,
the little
like,
girl is a
Venkman
scientist, but like it's still like she's a little kid, and it's like weird.
Yeah, because
And,
I think what it
there was
was is that,
definitely a thing like, yeah,
after... No, sorry, Joe. I didn't mean...
That was Dowloff right
I
there.
didn't even see the movie, so yeah,
Well, no,
continue on.
I was just saying it's like I think after Ghostbusters 1, they started making all those action figures, and then Ghostbusters 2 is so much more aimed at kids than the first one, and then you get the cartoon, and at this point, it's just like this money-making machine for selling stuff to kids. Ghostbusters just kind of started to be aimed in that direction.
Yeah.
Like, it would be cool that in like 10 years, if they're like, let's just
Well,
make
well,
like
then there
the
was no
80s
Ghostbusters.
again for like... Say that again?
There was no Ghostbusters for the longest time. Then they tried the female one.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
flopped.
yeah.
And then they went with these ones,
Yeah.
which you're right, kind of leaned more towards 2. But even in 2, I know what you're saying, Nick D, about it being more for kids, but it was still like this weird group of adults fighting these
Yeah,
monsters.
yeah.
And there was no like
Yeah.
coming of age
I mean, yeah, there was...
jibber jabber.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
hey, for
It
some,
actually
I
was
love
What's
you.
his face was scary.
There's the baby
Yeah.
Oscar and everything. It actually is more about like adults because like the kids are the vulnerable ones in Ghostbusters. You know what I mean? And then you get to this one and the kids are like the heroes. It's like, yeah. That's what they should have done. If they want to do a youthful Ghostbuster, they should have had Sigourney Weaver's baby grow up to be like the Cyclops of this new Ghostbuster. Oh, bro.
They should have had him be the bad guy.
Oh, even better.
Like remember when he got possessed in the other one? Oh, you didn't really know it, but what's Zool or whatever is actually
not Zool, that but yeah,
not
exactly,
Zool.
dude,
It's the other
John,
one. It's the other one.
Yeah, amazing idea.
And then he's the bad guy.
Amazing.
That's the thing, is the bad guy in this just isn't. The opening scene is what builds up the bad guy, and then from the opening scene that you see before they even drop the title card, you don't really see the bad guy. Dude, I can't even explain it.
Vigo.
Vigo.
Yeah.
The bad guy being
Bring that guy
scary
back,
is
too.
what makes or breaks the situation in a movie like not even scary. Like Vigo was like just a person, and that guy. That's what made it work. Is that dude?
Bring that guy back. That's what I meant. Bring the
little
helper
guy, the helper dude. Who was that?
Yeah. Get his name, but he was the best. He
This
was
dude.
the best.
Yeah.
Oops. Wilhelm van Homburg, Peter MacNicol.
This guy was great.
Yeah. Bum, bum, ba-da-dum, ba, ba.
Anyways, let's give it our rating. Nick T, why don't you go first? I feel like you're gonna be higher than me.
Yeah, I'd give it a C. Like, yeah, I think for a Ghostbusters movie, that's definitely not like aimed at me. Like, yeah, it's doing its thing. I genuinely don't think it's like a 40% on Rotten. I'm not saying it's
No,
like a
that's
good movie or
crazy.
anything like
No,
that,
that's
but it's like
crazy.
for
Yeah.
for what it
No,
is,
for what
like
it is,
if
I
you like
totally agree.
Ghostbusters, when it hits max, I definitely think it's like, yeah,
I'll watch it one
see
more
the
time.
gang
Yeah.
boot up proton packs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'd really like to watch the one before this now because I'm all juiced, kind of a little juiced
Yeah,
off of it.
yeah,
Like, what happened in that last one? Am I
yeah,
wrong that I like that more? Um,
yeah, yeah.
so see that, like, I thought you were gonna go. I thought you were gonna go BA maybe. But yeah, C's where I thought it lied. I totally agree with you that Rotten Tomatoes review is the 40% or whatever is insanity. Like that's crazy. It's better than
Yeah,
that. Um,
yeah, yeah.
I just didn't.
Because Paul Rudd, like, yeah,
Yeah, I just didn't ultra love it. And like I've kind of explained the bad guy scene and like that kind of stuff. Like, I just think there's things that they could have done better. You know. But altogether,
yeah,
like you said, Nick, it's kind of for a younger audience, and for that reason, it's great. But I think what makes the Ghostbuster 1 and 2 so special is it's made kind of for a younger audience, but it's still good for an older audience. Like I still
yeah,
watch
yeah,
those, and
yeah,
I know
yeah,
there's nostalgia partially, but like also just the way Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray
yeah,
and their interactions with one another were so good, and how they played off each other.
yeah.
This
God
movie
damn, they were the
this
best.
movie doesn't really have that. Paul Rudd is just doing his Paul Rudd thing, and then the lady that plays the mom, she does a decent job. But she just there isn't. That's something to sink your teeth into.
When was it you or BK? Didn't someone ask? Have you guys who is there a movie where Paul Rudd doesn't play Paul Rudd?
Fat said that.
Like it's like Paul Rudd is always kind of like Paul Rudd and everything, and I'm like that is so true. Like and again, I love Paul Rudd, but I'm like, oh yeah, like what is something where he's done something really different? Yeah,
No, the bet. All right,
love Paul Rudd.
all right. Trader's Tavern. Hold on here, young. Here comes a young man into an old man's game. Here, in my opinion, I love you, Rye,
The best franchise is the
but
song.
the best
That
part
is
of
a
it
great
is
statement.
not the song, doggy. Love you, Rye, but you're crazy talking right now. I'm sure you don't like Blues Brothers or any of those types of movies from that time period. But dude, I'm telling the original Ghostbusters, one and two, I really like two with the painting
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
ooze.
he was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One and two are freaking fantastic, bro.
And I feel like, at times in the first one, because you know how they go back to the library ghost in this one,
Yeah,
and it
they do that
looks
scene.
like it's trying to be scary. When the new ghosts are all like, "Ooh, that's like pretty and cool," and back in the '80s, they're like, "No, this is trying to look ugly. We're trying. It's a comedy movie, but this like we're trying to make like a cool looking ghost for you."
Yeah,
It feels like the new Ghostbusters. All the ghosts are like Baby Yoda. They're all like cute, like you know,
and let me say
like
this
that.
too. Let's
Yeah, I
give
don't like the blue thing.
let's give Slimer a bigger role.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Slimer deserves justice. He needs to just be a part of the crew. Like, here's another one, Nick. To pitch you another storyline. Make it to where Slimer actually helps out, and he's best friends with the little girl, the younger
Yeah,
girl.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
and that's her little ghost buddy, and that she's studying him because she's a scientist, and that could have been
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
Slimer's, they always put Slimer on posters and stuff, and like let's be
Like
honest,
front and center, yeah.
dude, he's in the movie in the scene that you see in the trailer, and then one more time.
Like
That's it.
yeah, like maybe all in
Mm.
all, like 2 minutes. Like yeah, like
It's
maybe
absurd. Like
90
if you
seconds.
don't,
Yeah.
there's just like things like that. Like, look, I'm just a fan. I'm gonna give it a C as well, and I think I want better. We're not. You know what? More. I just want more, and we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because maybe once we get these two kids to where they're adults and they're still the Ghostbusters or something, maybe I don't know. Maybe it'll be better at that point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because the other one, like they even made sure to tell he's like, I'm 18 now. I'm an adult. One of those.
And they made him they
Mhm.
made him so much more like comically dumb in
Yeah,
this one than he was in the last one. Like he's
totally.
like a caricature of himself. Like
Yeah, and he's like
yeah, like it's
spooked
him.
by
weird.
stuff. Yeah, the Stranger Things kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Timothée Chalamet. Yeah, yeah.
They made him into kind of a goofball, like slapstick comedy, and then they gave all of the major like storyline to the young lady.
Yeah.
It kind of more focuses on her, where he's kind of like slapstick comedy relief, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because it felt like it was just as much his movie in the last one. This
yeah,
one, it's like her movie.
it's her movie, totally,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, she's like the
Yeah,
lead of the
yeah.
whole entire movie,
Yeah.
which is, you know, it's cool. But then what's interesting though is you look at the posters. All right, Jared, go back to those two. On this one, they put Paul Rudd in the center. Oh, well, with Bill Murray and the old school crew on the side of him. And then in this one, Paul Rudd's still in the center, and then the girls on the side.
Interesting.
But Paul
Yeah.
Rudd's always in the center, even though like
Yeah.
he's not like the lead in the movie. He is.
He's not but he's like, because he's not the leader. He's not like the lead Ghostbuster. It's more just like
Yeah.
he
He just has the most talking scenes because he's Paul Rudd.
because it's like he's like a science teacher. He's not even like the smartest guy in the room. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird that like they keep kind of positioning him as like this is his team.
It
when
should
it's
be
like,
the little girl at the center of the
like
poster.
it's like Egon's family. It's like the
Yeah.
mom and
They should be in the center.
Her.
Even having the mom's over here on
We
the
can't-
far right. The mom's over here on the far right.
Yeah.
She should be where this, like, I agree, Nick D. It should be the three originals, or not three originals, the three family members. It should be the mom and the brother on each side, with the
Yeah.
little girl standing in the middle. Would make the most sense for the poster, for how the movie
Yeah.
actually plays out.
Yeah.
Picture posters, Warner Brothers or whoever. Travis Traven.
maybe?
Definitely rewatch those movies. I'm telling you, 1 and 2 are freaking magnificent. Right, Jer?
Yeah. I definitely want to go look at the firehouse.
Oh, yeah.
When BK and Ryan were here, Ryan pointed out the building that the first one like ends on.
Oh, wow.
That goes as
Sick.
as
Wow.
Yeah.
With the
I didn't know that.
apartments. That's where Sigourney Weaver lived. And
Yeah.
Home Alone, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where they're having the party.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely want to see the sign, the Ghostbuster sign, in person.
Wow. Yeah, I want to see that too, dude.
That'd be cool.
Oh, we're going into this off tops. Nick D.
That's
Yeah,
such
we're
a cool
doing we're doing all the
Can you pull up my
current stuff.
my LeBron thing?
Yeah.
Did you see that, Nick G? What I sent in the chat? Oh,
I don't know.
I'm just gonna say my little thing about X-Men '97. I'm gonna let Nick D say his stuff. I watched the last episode of the season before, and then went into the 2 new ones. I thought it was crazy how how it jumped and everything, because the sound on the old season was so bad. And so LeBron. And I was like, it's complex. I think this is real. Like, this is legit.
Yeah.
Here you go, King.
Okay,
And
May
they
15th.
responded with the whole lineup for
That's
him.
dope.
Oh, and like a classic old school
Back
TV
of a
guide.
TV
Yeah.
guide kind of.
Format.
Yeah.
Back of the TV guide kind of vibe. Or is that the cover? I guess
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
cover of the TV guide, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
here you go, King,
has
which is
a-
hilarious too. You know, let's run into LeBron. I thought that was cool. LeBron, I maybe, I don't know if that's a paid thing. Like, that was all a promo. I'll throw that out there too. That could easily have been a Disney slid LeBron a little checker ski and said, hey, why don't you message us? And then we'll message you back, and we'll have a little back and forth go on. You know? Either way, cool. Thought that was funny. Also, just noticing right now that there's a typo on that. They wrote 27 instead of 97.
Yeah.
Now, did LeBron, Jerry, can you go over? I just want to clarify this. Did LeBron say 27, or did LeBron said
Yeah.
27? Interesting.
And then BMF 986 2 and the 9 are so far apart.
Yeah. If Disney is paying him, maybe get a little discount on that, Disney. 'Cause your boy LeBron
Yeah.
kind of did you a little dirty. Oh wait, March 27th is the episode though. He wrote 27, and the next episode comes out on the
On the
27th. That's
Maybe.
also
Maybe.
there's a bunch of weird things going on here.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, get your PR team in order.
I really liked it. I think that following up from I never made it to the final season finale. I watched X-Men as a kid. I don't think I watched all of them. I would love to go back and watch all of them, but the sound is really bad. That's an awesome poster. I have some of those cards, like legit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We had that full set. Wish we still had.
We do. It's in my closet.
Oh wow.
And
Do you
Mom and
have the
Dad's.
Marvel Masterpiece ones too?
I'm pretty sure they're all in my closet.
That's awesome. You have the full set, huh?
I think so.
Pretty
I don't
sure.
know. We were super into those.
They were, yeah. Those cards were awesome. The art was so good.
More.
I'm loving it. I'm gonna watch the whole thing. I really enjoyed it. I think it was a smart idea to be. And I'm gonna give all credit to BK. He's the one that even told me to do this. I think it was smart to watch the final episode of the season 5 to then watch X-Men 97 because it kind of gives you a weird like, oh, this is what it was like the last time they made this, and this was how it looked and sounded, and this is where the story left off because the story leaves off in a really weird place. It was a cliffhanger ending back in the day, and this picks up literally. This show picks up a couple weeks later. I think is not. It's not the next day. I don't think it's the next day, but it's right around.
No,
This.
yeah, I think it's like a year. It's a minute after Charles has died. I don't know if it's 6 months or
For
2
sure.
years or something.
Is
Maybe a
it-
year. Because again,
And, like-
so at least 9 months because Jean is pregnant.
Totally. In that time span, yeah. I don't know what to. I'm not gonna. I don't think we can really give this in my opinion. I can't.
It's just 2 episodes. Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna give it a
Rating.
rating at
anything.
this point in time. I put it on the thing because I thought what Nick T was saying was really interesting, and I don't know shit. Also saw the LeBron thing and was like, oh, we got to talk about this tonight. It's pretty on topic, but I'm enjoying it. I really am. And if I was gonna give it a rating right now, I'd say it's a B plus. Could become an A and could even go further if the story really heats up. But I enjoyed it. Nick D, rip it apart now.
I mean, I'm not even gonna rip it apart. Because I like the story. I just think the art is really. I think it looks like sometimes it looks great, and then sometimes it's like not even anime, just still images, and that does take me. And just the thing what I was saying the other day, it's like, dude, this is Disney. They're literally known for animation, and this kind of at times feels cheap, and it's just I don't know, I feel like all we ever talk about is just nostalgia on me, and I was hyped for this, and at times when I'm watching, this does not. This looks like a coloring book. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Sometimes it looks so flat, there's no depth, or sometimes it looks great though. Let's not even, I'm not even saying that that Sentinel fight was awesome.
When he jumps out of the plane or whatever. Or,
When he jumps out of the plane, yeah.
Yeah.
But there are times where it's dude, this show looks
yeah,
raw.
yeah. When she's doing the
Yeah.
dancing, you're totally right. It literally was just 2 frames
Yeah.
back and forth.
Yeah.
But I still pondered, Nick, and I know we discussed this, but just to discuss it on the show as well. Is it to pay homage to the art style and how it was in 97? And I know you're right, that's cool, but you still could have done it even better. But I don't know. Maybe they need to come out and explain that more or something. I don't know. Because I did think it is
Maybe, I mean,
very
maybe, yeah.
similar. It is the cleaner version. The sound was the main thing. Because the old show would be cool to still watch, but the sound is so bad it's unwatchable.
Yeah. Go back to that right there. Go back to that Cyclops.
Yeah.
Keep going. That what is that? You know what I mean? Wolverine, but they both look bad in that shot, right? That looks and again, that would be, it's okay, yeah, that's a storyboard. It's I feel like, like, dude, we just watched that like Scavenger's Reign, which has a very simple art style, but looks beautiful. I was kind of hoping we'd get something like that. Maybe not even to that level, but it's like, again, this is like Disney. They can put HBO money into things, and you can tell they did not. Like, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
more. I really like how serious the story is. Like, I think this whole Magneto bit, great. I'm really looking forward to this. I like that they're getting into the Magneto and Rogue thing, and now Gambit's fucking bummed. Like, it's got like the drama, like the action heaviness of like X-Men. It's got all the X-Men shit I love. I just wish it looked better.
Yeah. It's a weird thing to even do though, and I get why they would be maybe hesitant to give all the money to it for season 1. Maybe as the show progresses, if the show becomes popular, the animation gets better over time. I don't think it would ever get worse. I think if anything, it would just be canceled.
Yeah, exactly. They'll just stop.
Um,
And again, you got LeBron talking about it right now. It's like that alone probably just got their butt. You know what I mean? Like season 2, like with that alone, maybe season 2 is gonna look amazing, and it's gonna
it's not
look
that
like
many
Akira.
episodes.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's that many. Like, yeah,
There's 8 more, something like that.
yeah. I think I remember hearing that it was like, because I think wasn't the original first season like 26.
8
I think
more.
it's not that at all.
Yeah, these 10 episodes. The fight scenes are cool.
Oh, you watched it too, Jerry?
Yeah. Oh, it's actually,
Yeah, I
there's actually only
started it like
13 in the first
a
one.
week ago. Stopped after 5 minutes.
Okay.
When like that first episode of Gam, when he's cooking in his like little crop top, I was like, what is this?
I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny, dude. I was like,
So-
that's great.
I feel out of all of us listening, I dislike it the most. I don't like the voices. I don't care for the story at all, except for when they're fighting. I think it's cool they made Cyclops
yeah.
way more assertive and a badass. Like that's pretty dope because he was
Yeah.
always so whiny.
Yeah.
Where now
the
it's like he's
pushover.
actually
Yeah.
leading his team, so that's super cool.
Yeah.
But I don't like the voices. Like Wolverine's
Really?
voice sounds like he's talking and not growling. I hate Gambit's voice. Cyclops' voice is cool.
The Gambit voice, I thought they tamed it down personally. I think that they thought that the old voice, this is just my opinion, the old voice was a little too over the top. Granted, we grew up
Yeah.
with it and I love it and I think it's very funny and comical too. But I think they were like, look, dude, we gotta, this is a little much. Let's tone that down a bit and pulled it back in a little bit.
Yeah.
I think we got to see where it goes, though, too, Jerry. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
storyline wise.
Yeah, I'll probably still watch it. Maybe not every week, but like again, it was like this scene. Like again, when they're fighting, I do feel is when they put in the most effort. Because otherwise, it is like you said. Is it a like financial budget choice of like, hey man, this is a show that we haven't aired in like 30 years. We're not about to
for
give you
adults
$10
at
million.
this point.
Yeah,
That may or may not
is it like, are
watch.
they cutting down on animation for that reason, or is it like you're saying, like, no, shows back then there was a lot of still
Yeah.
frames and blah blah blah, but
Maybe a
it is
little bit of
thing,
both.
Like there are moments, yeah, there are moments though where it's very like it'd be this picture like this, but all of a sudden, but only their mouths are moving, like
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah,
else.
yeah,
Like there's a couple scenes
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it's just like, oh, that's strange.
Did you watch the
and
old
I-
episode
like,
first?
I don't know. I don't need to. No, I don't need to want to see them in their regular outfits. And I feel Jubilee's glasses are so dated at this point. But it's like you said, this takes place
And yeah.
when
In
the
97.
first series left
Yeah,
off.
it makes sense where that would. Yeah, I will say I really think that you guys both should go back and just watch one episode of the old show, and I
I
think
want
that final one because
yeah.
my imagination of thinking like, and I say the same thing with Darkwing Duck, for instance. I loved that show as a child, and I went back to rewatch it when Disney Plus first came out, and I remembered I was like, oh, I remember the episode, but I was like, wow, like the audio, the visual. And I think even maybe we said this in the car, Nick D, when we were talking about it. Maybe if you hooked up the old tube TV, which I have one in the garage, maybe this would play better. But the thing is, though, when the original show, not the new show, the original show would play better on the OG TV with the OG speakers and stuff. And that might be true. I don't really know. I'm not really going to go out of my way to do all that. I agree with you, Jared. I'm definitely gonna watch. I think I'm gonna watch all of it. I don't know. I assume
Mhm.
I will. I might not watch it every week, but because I kind of like building up to, especially if they're going to be part one and part
Yeah, me
twos.
too.
Um, but
Yeah.
I definitely think I'm going to keep up with it. It's cool to see all of them on screen together. The way we did back, the way I
Yeah.
remember them, more so than even the movies or anything else. This is the way I remember them. Is this
Yeah.
show? Magneto though, them
Yeah,
changing his
100%.
costume, I didn't like that move. Too early.
Yeah, they
I
just
don't. Well, and it's like I
yeah.
don't really like that. Like it's like I like that they changed the costume, but I'm like, oh, so many cool costumes. And maybe in '97, it's like, well, this was his next costume. And it's like, okay, hopefully we can burn through this. Then let's just get, let's get him back into something. I don't know. It's fine, but I don't like it. I don't really like it.
Do you think we get a Deadpool
Yeah.
cameo in
No.
this that feeds into the movie?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I don't know if it feeds into the movie, but I wouldn't doubt it. Like because it's like, let's even see. Does Deadpool pop up in the original? Like I think
No.
if you were in
No,
the
he doesn't.
last
He
one, if
doesn't.
they were in the last one,
He doesn't.
No, it doesn't
okay.
pop up. If anything, like I don't think he's popping up in any of these episodes, but maybe they'll make a cut where it's like a 30, 45-second thing with all the characters doing something and he comes in, but I don't think they're gonna
Maybe in
pop
maybe in his
him
movie
in.
they make a cameo in his movie, other way around.
I'd be into
Yeah,
that.
something. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I doubt.
I
I doubt he'll
there's
pop up in this.
there's rumors that Spider-Man or Cap will make an appearance in this because they both make an appearance in
That'd
the
be
old one.
so. Yeah, I love
There's a
that.
whole Avengers couple like storyline if I'm not mistaken, like a multi-episode,
Wouldn't
right,
doubt
Nick
it.
D?
I
Huh.
wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, like I'm looking right now, like who's in it. Like there's like so many people. Like sick. There's like the full like Canada team, Forge, Pietro. Yeah. So yeah, that'd be sick.
We'll see where it
That'd be
goes, and we'll be checking back in periodically on this one.
Yeah, X Factor is in it and Chosen, Terminator.
Yeah, I will again say the action scenes are
When's
cool.
the next
Where
episode?
tomorrow, 27th.
It's the same day as Bad Batch, which is like I might watch both because I have two shows now, which I kind of like. Like now Wednesday
yeah, at
night's
least
my
then you get an
cartoon
hour,
night.
yeah.
Yeah. I get my Star Wars and my
Yeah.
Marvel done in one night, and they're both a half hour. That's kind of nice, dude. Kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. X-Men 97, X-Men 27.
Fats is definitely gonna
I
watch.
think it'll be a
LeBron's.
banger if they like triple the spend whatever they're spending double.
Ooh, I got a lot of questions about this one, Nick D.
This one's really good. Like I won't spoil anything because I definitely think it's worth seeing. I don't think it's like crucial to see it in a theater. I think that I think seeing it in a theater will make it better. It's like real good. It's like fun and like admit it, I'll say like I don't think it ever like quote unquote scared me. But there's this one scene where you're like, oh shit, this is the fucking movie right here. Like you're like, yeah, dude.
I want to see
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
There's a lot of controversy right now because they used a couple of AI generated images in it. And so some people are like boycotting this movie. However you feel about AI art, whatever, I get that. I will say, whatever your political opinions on AI art is, don't let that like stop you from seeing a really good movie. It's like find a way to see this movie without paying for it, even if that means like going to DVD Depot, or if it means just waiting till it's streaming. Like this is a great movie.
No,
You
that's
know,
stupid.
like,
That's
and
stupid.
The AI.
And isn't it like a
If you,
small
yeah,
thing?
if you're like if you go to Google and then just type in like Late Night with the Devil AI art, you don't even need to. Don't even bother. Don't even bother. I'll tell you what it is. You know how like in TV shows back in the day, they'd have the little cards
Yeah.
where it would be like
A cartoon.
Conan. One
Yeah.
of them, it was like the Halloween episodes. So it's a skeleton in like a pumpkin patch, and it's an AI generated
That's stupid.
image. And so they're saying boycott this movie over this one image. I thought they were saying that like quote unquote the devil was AI generated. No, they're not saying that at all. Like it just seems like it's like, if you feel that way, you feel that way, and I'm not judging you. I think if you wanted to see this movie before you found out about that, don't let that stop you. It's a great movie. Yeah, there it is. That right there. That's AI generated and pissed off. on screen for maybe a second. You know what I
Interesting.
mean?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and here's what I'll tell you,
Whoa.
and I don't because I don't want to spoil anything. It's a Johnny Carson competitor, and his ratings, him right there, the dude from Suicide Squad or whatever.
Yeah,
What is he
a
from? What do we
bunch of
know?
stuff. A
He's
bunch
great.
of stuff. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
oh,
great.
and Ant-Man. Yeah,
Prisoner.
he's
Yeah.
he's a prisoner. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
His ratings are kind of failing, and so to compete, he has a night on Halloween. He has a night of like psychics and medium, and one of the guests he had is a girl who's possessed, and so
Joker's
that's the
thug.
twist. It's a possession movie, but it's on. Oh yeah, Joe. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he's that thug. What were you saying, Nick? Finish it.
Um, uh, um, and
Brings a possessed
the
girl
girl
on.
that he has on is actually possessed. He claims to be possessed, and spoiler alert, she's possessed. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and so the twist is that it's a possession movie, but it's on. This is like happening on TV. So the movie opens up with saying this was filmed on like October 31st, 1972.
It's like a found footage thing.
Exactly, yeah. So it's like people that night saw it and buried it. They're saying, 1977. They're saying this is the footage of that night.
So what do you?
Yeah,
And
that
it's
sounds
also,
super interesting.
It does. It does. I have heard two friends of ours, well, one friend of mine and one friend of yours, have both talked to me about this film. So it's interesting to hear Nick D's review. Jake saw it and he said it wasn't that great. The whole movie took place in one room, and then I started to ask him questions. He's like, "Dude, I don't want to spoil it for you if you're going to see it, but I didn't really like it," or whatever his comment was. Austin called me and was like, "Dude, we need to go see this movie," and named off this movie. And I talked to him since then, but he's been real busy with work, so we haven't been able to arrange a time to see it. But I am intrigued and I want to see it. Nothing against Bruss, but I'm not too surprised that if it does take place in one whole room the whole time, Jake was kind of like, "This is boring."
You know what else I also really like too? Like it all takes place in, and I like that it looks like it was filmed in like 480.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like you're watching a TV show from the 70s.
In SD.
It never clicks over. Yeah, it never clicks over to 4K.
I like that.
So I can also see him. Maybe he's like, I don't like that it's all in one room. It's like a play. I don't like that it looks shitty. But I like all that. You feel claustrophobic. You feel like it's just studio. Yeah.
I want to see it.
And the way the studio is too, like you can tell that, like when you see a studio, they're fake walls. So it's like he goes behind a wall, but then you can still tell that the audience is on the other side. So it really does almost feel like a play. It's a weird setup and filming. And yeah.
I need to see this.
Yeah.
I need to see this.
I'd give it an S. I famously gave Skinamarink, but I think it's like
This could be this year's Skinamarink.
Yeah. I think it will be. I think this is like to me. I'm looking at I'm like, dude, Alien Romulus. I've got such high hopes for that movie. I hope it's great. But like, if it's not an S, this is my DeLuise of the for horror. Like, this is such a.
So Nick's giving it an
movie.
S.
Wouldn't say it's scary. Yeah. I'm giving it an S. It's so fun.
All right, this is the first. This isn't the first S Nick's given out, but first horror one, and Nick's saying this is the front runner, ladies and gentlemen, for the DeLuise. That is interesting to hear. Jerry, you putting that in the notes?
Mm-hmm.
It's in the notes.
It is in the notes.
And there we go. Late Night with the Devil. Nick D's front runner right now for the DeLuise horror category. Interesting.
Yep.
Responding to chat real quick. Sadu, also like the Cyclops storyline, it sounds like. That's good to hear.
Hell yeah.
And Trainer's Tavern
I
said,
love the Cyclops support these days.
Days of Future Past is the best X-Men movie. I'd actually agree with you because it joins both casts together, and it's a very strong movie. I do really enjoy that movie because I like both casts, from the original cast and the new cast, and I thought that movie was really well done with using both.
I like how you get 70 Sentinels and Future Sentinels. Like, it's like, you get a lot.
It's cool. It's a great movie.
There's a lot to Yeah.
I think it's either that or Logan, or probably the best X-Men movies. Because Logan also has guest appearances by quite a few mutants, including Xavier.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what's our next movie there, Jerry? Oh,
Really quick before we
You
move on,
want-
can I just ask one question? I'm real sorry. Can you go back one page? I just want to shout out one guy in this movie, and if we could even see
Jerry.
what else he's in. Like just because I saw him right there, I was like, because I wanted to say, what is this guy's name?
Who?
Reese Aturi. Click on him. Reese Aturi steals the show. He's like the Andy Richter of the movie. He's the side host, and I just want to see what do I know this guy because he's so good in this.
Nothing.
Nothing. Well, he's Reese Atiri. You fucking crushed it. He's great. He's
Reese.
both funny and he's like the audience. Like he's like the surrogate for the audience, where he's always like, "This is a bad idea, guys." Like, so the whole movie, like you're looking at it through kind of his perspective of like how things go wrong. Like, yeah. So yeah, crushed it. He's great. Sorry, Joe, but that was rude.
You sure, pal?
That was it. That was it.
I wanted to watch this.
Uh,
Although I don't find her to be the best
Yeah.
actress personally. Sorry.
You know, she's fine.
Yeah.
Karina wanted to watch it because she wanted to see Sydney Sweeney's boobs.
Why is she get a boob job or
Um,
something?
No, she just the movie they made the movie to have her boobs jiggle and to put her into like tight fitting clothes. Like that's you could tell.
It's a
Like
it's an
that's
anime.
all.
Okay.
Wait,
Like they're in
wait. You
New
think that's like
they're
legit? What you think the movie was made for?
100%.
Wow.
Like every scene, her boobs are either out or they're like having her do something to make them like move.
This is like ultra softcore porn.
And well, like then she shows her boobs all the time in the movie.
Wait. So there's actual boobs
Um,
being. So this is literally is a softcore porn.
No, it is not a softcore porn.
Okay.
They show boobs in other movies, and wouldn't call them a softcore porn.
You'd be surprised where my bar is on the softcore porn.
Like, because Karina pointed out, it's like this, and this guy like shows the tip of his wiener.
In the movie?
See again, like she's like,
Dude, this is a
yeah,
softcore
like,
porn.
again,
There's
they're
wieners
just-
and boobs.
like again, it's a thing where they,
Is this on Disney
somebody
Plus?
made it. No, it was on Amazon. One day it'll be on Disney Plus. That yeah, you could tell he just wanted a bunch of hot people running around
Being
like
hot.
I don't know, makes no sense. It wasn't a very great movie.
Oh, so it's like a really bad rom com. Wait. Can you go back to
really
images?
bad.
Was that the dude from Little Dicky?
I just wanted who?
His sidekick, dude.
The guy that was in this?
Right there. That is. It is. It's Gata. Yeah, Gata. He's the last name on the people.
Oh, nice.
That's Gata from freaking. That's Little Dicky's like a co-rapper dude that tours with him on the TV show Little Dicky, which I think got canceled. No more Little Dicky.
I think I did hear that. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think I heard that.
This looked like a good rom com. But the trailers were decent, but you're saying not such good rom com, just a titty rom com.
It's again, it's just the stuff that they get into. They just did such little setup. Like again, just all they wanted to do was showcase her boobs. Like almost every scene they draw. Like again, you can't see it, but Karina pointed out, like in this thing, her bathing suit. Here's my mouse. The like strap is up here, where Karina's like, yeah, that means it's way too small, just because they wanted to make her boobs look pushed up. And then she, like, Karina also just really likes this guy. So every time he came on the scene, she just kept talking about how like hot this guy is.
What else is this guy in?
But yeah, I don't know.
What do I know?
I don't know. But like her, Sydney Sweeney's sister is getting married, and so they all fly out to Australia, and then this is her ex, who her parents invite because they want her to get back together, and then that other guy, they like hung out one night, and like she left in the middle of the night. When she came back, he was like, "Oh, I didn't like that girl," and blah blah blah, like classic miscommunication of and he's the other girl's brother's friend. He's just a friend of the other girl, and so they're both at this wedding, and they both like dislike each other, but then they want to pretend to be together to make their exes jealous.
Oh yeah.
Classic rom-com stuff. He's in the new Roadhouse movie.
He's also in Gran Turismo, which I watched.
He's all over the place.
Oh,
but
Island.
He's doing a lot of movies. Blue Eye Samurai.
Never Have I Ever.
8 episodes. He's the Running Man voice.
Wow.
And Tiger.
I still need to start that.
Yeah, same here.
Agents
Agent
of
Shield.
Shield.
He did 2 episodes.
He's in Glass. Hell yeah.
Glass. Well, the short of it, I guess.
Oh, he's in Simi Valley.
Oh,
He was in SWAT. This Is Us.
Decent start of a career. He's pretty young, right?
Yeah. But classic.
He's the douchey American
rom-com movie.
Gran Turismo.
oh yeah. Holding it down for America. I hope America wins Gran Turismo.
Nope.
Oh, but there's like one super funny joke in here. That, let's see. Oh yeah, right here. They're on a boat doing the dinner, and they again want to make everybody jealous. So they're like, "Oh, let's do the Titanic while everybody's watching them." And so they watch them, and then they fall overboard. And that Australian guy's like, "Oh no, they've gone full Titanic." They go in the water. Oh my god, it's the best joke of the entire movie.
I like it.
Of the entire movie, but it's not worth watching for that. As to why.
Written around that joke. Yeah.
So she's kind of the new
Could have been.
Jennifer Love Hewitt in a way, where it's like boobs on display from when we were kids. You know what I mean?
She's definitely. It seems like she's had like quite the couple of years. But she's.
Oh yeah,
blowing up.
she's everywhere, dude. And that's why I'm like, I like.
Jennifer Love Hewitt was a good actress.
Oh, and you don't think
she was good in?
She's. I think they're kind of similar in a sense. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Who's the girl from Mean Girls? I'm such a boomer. I don't think I think it took me a second to realize that Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Sigrid. No. Who's the blonde from Mean
Siegfried?
Siegfried. I don't think I realized that those were different people.
Oh, they gotta be like
I thought those were the same. I know. Someone
they gotta
told
be
me that
10, 15, dude. That's gotta be 10, 15 years difference, bro.
I didn't realize they were different.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah. Because I don't watch their movies. So like to me, like I was getting them confused, like for the longest time. Yeah.
So what are you giving this, Jerry? Let's get past this one. We've been on it for a minute.
Rushing me on my reviews.
No. I mean, no, I'm not rushing you, but like, get out of here.
C-.
Okay.
I would say C-. Like, it's a little bit below average, but again,
you got more to say about it?
I will say there are pretty. Not really. Not really. Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
That should be a game. Sydney Sweeney or Amanda. I'll lose. Siegfried. I can't even say her name.
What? It didn't get me that time.
I know.
What I would say though, going back real quick, and then we can move on to the Jennifer Love Hewitt. Jennifer Love Hewitt. I feel she had a stronger start.
True.
With, her TV shows, and then like the horror movie. Where this, like, everybody knows what's her face from Sydney Sweeney from like Euphoria, but like I feel she hasn't had a big breakout movie yet. That it's like, okay,
Madam Web, baby,
I'll take you like, hopefully.
Madam Web.
Hopefully, Madam Web too. They let her shine.
Yeah. Let her really open those wings and fly.
C-. C-.
I really wanted to see this, and I've heard such mixed things.
I liked it.
Like, I still really want to see it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Napoleon at all. So for me, going into this film, it was cool because I learned a lot about. I mean, we all know the general Napoleon stories, like I guess the idea of him or what have you. But this was really cool because like I don't know, learned a lot. My one issue with the movie, well, one of my issues with the movie was that because everyone speaks English, it's a little hard sometimes to follow in certain scenes of like what's going on as far as like the different countries that
What
are
the
in
French is
play.
doing.
Well, it's not just the French because he's messing with the Russians, he's messing with the English, he's messing with like a few other countries in Europe, right? And it's kind of hard because everyone kind of dresses the same, you know, in that time. Well, I mean, everyone dresses the same,
Korean,
period,
yeah.
but they're not like in their like uniforms with like their flag on the arm where you're like, oh, he's for sure this and he's that. Like, so that gets a little confusing, even in the battle scenes when they're running at each other. It sometimes you're just like, I don't know. It looks really cool and people are dying and you're like, whoa, this looks nuts, but I can't tell you what's going on. Or who's winning until the end when Napoleon's like, well, that sucks, or whatever, you know, he explains. The story between him and the wife, super interesting. That's a main component of the whole movie, for sure. He does a good job, as much as you can, playing a famous French person, but you're speaking perfect English can play. Because that you know that has to be taken into note, right? I think I think visually though, like it's an awesome epic film. Like you get a lot of cool battle scenes. Not much else for me to say. It's a historical one. So if you know the story of Napoleon, you kind of know what happens, right?
Going off of your, different countryed leader speaking English, I'm kind of curious if you were to watch The King with Timothée Chalamet and Robert Pattinson, because Robert plays the King of France, and I hear his French accent is horrendous. Like, he put no effort into it. So I'd be very curious what your thought is of an English actor doing the accent of a different country, but, then it not being top notch.
Yeah.
Because, that's like, I feel, I don't know. But I'd be interested if you ever were to watch that movie.
Yeah, I'll think about that. To wrap this one up as we move on, I'd give this it's a B plus A minus, because just purely based off the huge battle scenes and how cool they look and like they're done real proper. And the story kept me interested the whole 2.5. I think it's about 2.5 hours long. I was intrigued the whole time. I enjoyed it, and I would recommend it. It's a one and done. I'm not going to probably go back to this for a long, long time. But I did really enjoy it.
Did you watch it by yourself?
No, I watched it with my mom.
What'd you think?
She enjoyed it too. She was a little like, I will say the battle scenes are pretty gruesome. I'll give you a little spoiler because this one happens in the first battle scene. In the first battle scene that they show, his horse gets hit with a cannonball, and they like show
My mom told me about that today.
Yeah.
And she said after that, she fast forwarded through every battle because she was like, I don't want to see a horse exploding.
Like I said,
yeah. And so it was a quick movie for her because anytime a fight started, she just was like, I'm done. I'm not doing that.
And his whole thing is about fighting. So a lot of the movie is him like mapping out fights and stuff. So like your mom didn't watch much of a movie at all. I imagine it was like 20, 30 minutes maybe.
She said it went by pretty quick. Yeah. Went by pretty quick.
But I think some of the fighting, it isn't like you're seeing stuff. It's like him lining up the people and you're like strategically where he's going to be. Like that scene right there, how he makes these dudes go out onto the ice and he blows out the ice from underneath it. It's interesting. And that's what he was famous for, right? Is being this badass, like he knew how to map it out.
Yeah, and like himself, not like, oh, he had a team. It was like he actually liked doing that stuff.
He would always be there in person, even when he was the emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very interesting. It's like, dude, like I said, I didn't know anything really about him. It was intriguing. It also really shows how
Yeah.
crazy and effed up France was at the time. Like from the start of the movie to the end of the movie, dude, there's so many overthrowing the government situations that happen in France in that, I think, 30 to 50 year time span. That's like, it's insane. Like, people talk about how crazy it is right now. You're like, it is not that crazy. They were literally storming the building and like decapitating people and stuff, right? Chopping heads off.
My
and all
mom,
that.
my mom said
Jan
too the same
6.
thing. She didn't like this. It doesn't it. And again, spoiler for the first thing. It opens up with Marie Antoinette getting beheaded. My mom was like, "Holy shit!"
That's the
Like
opening of the film.
that kind of movie. Yeah,
It
yeah.
could, because
Like,
Napoleon
and again,
supposedly is a young man and he's in the crowd, so it shows that happening. And then right when it
Yeah.
happens, it cuts to him and he's like standing in the crowd in normal like street clothes, and they
Well,
kind of try to make him look a
yeah.
little younger, and he's kind of like, huh, that just happened. And
And
then it
That was his
jumps.
Joker moment.
It jumps a few, I guess, yeah. It jumps a few
Yeah.
years in the future, and then he's effing with the British because the British they're in their territory. Those scenes make sense.
Yeah.
The one thing about the British is the redcoats are coming, right? We all know that as Americans. You recognize the British. It's when he's messing with the Austrians or the Germans or the Russians that it gets a little too, like, everyone looks the same. The English are defined. I didn't know how beefy it was between France and England. It was gnarly, bro. Anyways, we don't need to get into all of it. Watch the movie. Check it out. It's on
I want to. I want to.
Apple Plus. Yeah, 2.5. It's worth a watch. It's a 2B, B plus, A minus kind of vibe.
Really, Scott?
Right now, for if we were doing war epic as a category, it's my lead.
We might as well. I mean, it seems like there's always a new movie.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I still need to see 1970. I watched this too.
Oh yeah, that was cool. I didn't finish it. We only watched the first 3 episodes.
This is the Amanda Bynes Drake documentary.
Yeah. Well, it's just kind of
mainly about the Dan Schneider.
Yeah,
the producer. Dude, crazy stuff.
Yeah, I've heard all about it.
I don't know. Don't need to get too much into it, but like, man, it is awful.
Grim.
And like some parents kind of like had a bad vibe of things going on. Some were just like, cool, we're in Hollywood. It's just, man, I would never let my kids get into like
But what's interesting,
child acting.
It's interesting just to play. I'm not the Dan Snyder, and there's like other associates that have also like already been arrested and stuff. But okay, for instance, stay right there on that scene right there. Go back, Jerry. I know Drake has come out obviously, and he's also been caught up in his own allegations and stuff, which not some people, you could easily say that his situation came from probably what happened to him with Dan Snyder. Then he became a weirdo. But what I was going to point out is like Josh Peck is in this photo right here. Him, Amanda Bynes, and quite a few other Nickelodeon people that are even larger in popularity, including Keenan and Kel and stuff like that. They ain't saying nothing. It's all, if you've noticed, and I'm just pointing out because obviously Drake is the biggest star that we have. It's all the lesser characters. It's interesting to me. All the big time actors who are still even in the game, like Josh Peck, he's still acting. Or what's her name? iCarly. She's not saying nothing. It's just so interesting to me that it's like a lot of the big ones, because if one of them comes out, if iCarly or Josh Peck or Amanda Bynes comes out and is like, you know what? Here's what I have to say about it. I think everything would really fucking change overnight with this whole situation.
No, it wouldn't, because it's a thing of like, big part of the documentary is people assume things happen to her, but like she was so wrapped up with that guy. Mm-hmm. I don't think she's aware of what happened, and so
I'm not saying just her though. I'm not saying just her.
Somebody
Josh
else.
Peck,
Yeah.
He seems normal.
But it's a thing where, again, watching this, like it really is the classic. Like they just get them.
Yeah. Totally.
And then it's in like, I don't know. I have no idea, because again, it is a thing where some of them mention stuff, and then like, there were just other people working there who were known pedos.
Yeah.
And that like it's just a terrible environment to where, and then again, like the network doesn't want to have to deal with it, so they're just gonna hush it, or like they definitely made it sound like this was a ongoing problem and like no end in sight almost is what they
for
made
like
it sound like.
20 years. Yeah.
And the other thing they said, the reason, like one reason maybe with her specifically why is that he was always around because he didn't like him. He was like, I'm gonna make sure
was it
young
iCarly?
castmates, iCarly, that the older guy, he was like, I do not like this guy and I don't like the other guy who was an actual pedo. So he, you know, I read that he was always on set, even if he wasn't filming that day, made sure he knew where this guy was, knew where the young ladies were. Like he definitely watched out for them on this show specifically.
Which
he
one?
did
The
not like
older brother
him.
did? The older brother in the show?
This guy, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, the guy being carried. He did not like the guy carrying him, so he made sure he always knew where he was when the young ladies were working. So maybe, you know, but again, who knows if after this someone else is going to be like, hey, you know what, it, you know, happened to me too, or where I saw something or whatever. But it just seems like it's rampant.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I don't know. It was
100%.
so sad. It was so
it's gnarly.
sad. Where
It's
again, we
super
haven't even
gnarly.
finished the fourth episode. Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's one of the things where it's like interesting and like, oh my God, eye opening that this horrible thing, but like, my God, does it really take something from you watching it?
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
I listen to a podcast.
I watched.
Yeah.
I think it's like 2 hours, and I think we watched it over like 4 hours. There's like a lot of like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
And I was just saying, Jerry,
yeah,
I
it's
meant,
just
I meant
so
like to
sad.
really like, I'm not taking away from anyone's whether or not I believe it all happened first and foremost. I'm just
Yeah.
saying for
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it to be really taken like to the next level of like this guy really doing some jail time or what have you, because it seems like these dudes have already gotten slapped on the wrist from what I understand. A couple of them had already done
Plus
time, got out, and then they got rehired by a different network. That's crazy too, right? Like,
And it's because yeah, like the I think Josh or Drake's attacker. I think didn't they say he still works at Disney to this day?
no,
Like
no,
I think
he did up until like
No?
2015.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because I think a lot of this stuff is like I don't know anything about anything, but I think there's a thing of like a statute of limitation. Like I don't even think Dan Schneider could get in trouble now, could he?
And he
Like
was
has
also
enough time passed?
I think too, Nick D, just to make sure we have all the deets, if I'm not mistaken, he was also like before even 2015, a few years prior to that, he was not allowed to be on set. He was only in the writer's room. So
They
there
talked about
is some
that,
weird
yeah,
like
in the
time
show,
gap
yeah.
just to make sure that we
Yeah.
are saying everything correct.
Oh, yeah, let's make it very clear. I don't know.
We haven't studied
I
this.
watched it.
Yeah,
I don't have,
yeah.
I don't have any of the. Yeah, I watched it one.
I listened to a 2-hour
watch.
podcast.
Like-
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting. And then, the guy who played Donkey Lips came out and said something like the day after the last episode. He said he wasn't, assaulted or anything like that. But he said that there was a lot of like executives at Nickelodeon that were like supplying booze to like kids. He was like, yeah, when I was on Salute Your Shorts, there was a lot of like weird just interactions with adults. Like maybe nothing like super extreme happened, but he said they were trying to get him drunk, like for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy stuff.
Crazy.
Yeah. That was interesting.
Do you know? I think I heard it's over, right? There's not more episodes coming. Is it just those 4?
I think so. I think it's just the 4. Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely interesting to see, but sad.
I mean, how are
Yeah,
you even
for
gonna
sure.
give this how you
I'd say it's
for a documentary?
say
What
the
would
only-
you say? Quality.
I'd say it's a great documentary, and I would say people, if people should watch it just to like fuck these guys, like fuck Schneider, fuck like this other Josh Drake. I don't know I don't know who these guys are, but Drake Bell's attack that guy. I think his name is Josh Peck.
No, Josh Peck.
Fuck
No,
that
Josh Peck's the other
No.
guy.
Oh, but it's another Peck though, right?
No,
Or is it another Josh?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Josh Peck
It was
is
the dialogue
Drake and
coach.
Josh. Drake and Josh.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say I think it's worth watching to get this. Like, this. I feel like this is information we've all known because it's like this stuff's been talked about on the internet. But now that it's like in a public thing, it's like, yeah, let's shame these people. Like, so yeah, go watch it just so everyone knows. Like, fuck these guys.
Yeah. Because, yeah, it's a thing where the other guy, the Dan Snyder guy, is like, oh, I might have done some things wrong, but like, I didn't,
Yeah.
he's definitely trying to downplay it. So I do think it is a thing of like, yeah, like get at least hear what people have to say. And like, he was like, yeah, I did ask cast members to like give me massages. I realize that's weird,
But they were all in
like,
public and yada yada yada. Yeah, there's some weird.
yeah, like again, he's definitely
such
just
a
trying
piece
to
of shit.
downplay stuff. Oh, Brian Peck.
Brian
Brian
yeah.
Peck, so he is a Peck, but they're not. I don't think they're related.
Yeah.
They're not related. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
not
know. I think
related.
it's just a coincidence. I think it's
Coincidence.
just a
Yeah.
coincidence.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not related. But yeah, Brian Peck and this guy, Dan Schneider, are apparently real pieces of trash.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, so quality wise and like again, information, blah blah blah. It definitely was. They did their due diligence. So like, it's A in like production wise, but like, my God, it really is like depressing and like heavy to watch. So you don't need to run out, but it is put together well.
And I imagine, like, I'll just say this. I imagine if you're someone looking for trigger warnings, I imagine there's like a huge part of the population that's like, oh, I can't watch that because it's fucked up. It's like there's probably some people who are like, I'm good. I don't need to watch that.
I don't.
And it's like, yeah, I get that.
I'm
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
good. I listened to a podcast about the
you-
whole situation, so
yeah,
I feel like I
you
know the
get it.
information. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you. Yeah.
And listening to it probably for
It's
me
sad.
was
Like
better.
that's Drake's dad right there, and he's like constantly like crying. But it's fucking sad.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah, he was like one of the parents who's kind of like, I just didn't trust the adults there, and I like begged my ex-wife not to let him like be around that Brian guy. And
Yeah, and the
Brian
mom
just
was in
knew how
cahoots
to
with the
work.
Brian guy. and
Yeah, exactly. It's the
Yeah.
classic. It's just you feel bad for all the young kids to where again, Karina and I were just like, yeah, we're never letting any future kid into like entertainment. It's just too crazy.
I think that that's severely changed. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I don't.
I
I think if it's because again, like with this, it's a thing where it's like parents aren't allowed on set and like they're paying you like I could see how some people get
the
blinded
parents
by
are
the
allowing
lights,
you
but
on
also
set
at the
thing
same
that's like a dated that's actually not allowed anymore and stuff. It's like against the law. A lot of that, some of that stuff has changed.
They say that predators flock to where they're kids. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
yeah,
and
but that's what I'm saying. Like at that point, like karate. I mean, like let's be like even the church. Like there's nowhere safe. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. Well, I do think that is the thing. There is nowhere safe. You should always be aware where your kids are and what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I think again,
100%.
I think with Hollywood and fame, I can see how you can get lost in somebody shoving money or like, no, let's just go to this party and like they have to go like because they did
Your
talk
kid's
about
gonna
like
get their own show. You should come to this
hey,
hotel.
don't
Like
you
it's a
want your
lot
kid to
of
be
that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's I see what you're saying. It probably is a lot more regulations and checks and balances, but I definitely pessimistically 100% think there are still monsters in there, getting in there, working there at the top, every level of it. I believe there is some monster who is just lining pockets with money because they can.
Yeah.
I
Wouldn't doubt it.
I do.
I
Wouldn't
mean,
doubt it.
my other thing about that, dude, is like, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but like, I feel like the days of that style of show have also just come to an end. Like, I just don't think that's like, I don't think you have anything to worry because I don't really think they're doing. Like, the other thing is that YouTube kind of kicked them in the dick, and that's why, if I'm not mistaken, the guy who came up with what's that pig's name for children?
Peppa Pig?
Yeah. The Disney dude, Bob Iger, had to have a meeting with him and pick his brain because that guy's pulling in like millions now with YouTube. And then like Disney's like, how the hell are you doing this right now? I think kids stuff is just not like I think there's just like like right now, even from like what Alessandra's watching, it seems like it's not. She watches Miss Rachel, which is another YouTube person. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I think there's like a changing of the guard going on right now too. Is kind of what I'm saying.
I'm sure they're.
But that doesn't mean
I
it's
still think those. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's just to me, it's just like, oh, people are just doing it in smaller. Either way, I still
like
think
the Bobby guy.
again,
He
people,
he had like a poop
huh?
porno, Mr. Bobby or whatever, the guy with the funny hat. He's a YouTube kid dude. They talked about it on my
I don't even know
show.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
again,
got like
I think,
a scat video
yeah,
or something.
Well, it just goes
I
to
feel
show,
we've
like, if you're
talked about
involved,
this.
like, I feel like, yeah, it just goes to show, like, predators go, like, creeps are always going to be involved with what kids are doing, like
Yeah.
YouTube, Hollywood. I don't think it matters.
Adult Lego
It's
people.
like
I
just
wouldn't let my
get
kids
your
do
kids away.
Legos. I'm gonna say
You won't.
it. I wouldn't
What
let my
about
kids do
what about
Lego
let's do
stuff.
Legos?
I wouldn't let them do Lego stuff. I wouldn't let them go to those Lego conventions. I wouldn't let them really be involved in Legos. Legos to me
I don't.
seems like a giant red flag with all these weird adult men into the Legos. It's kind of weird.
Oh, I didn't
Personal
like know what you were
opinion.
talking about, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I agree with that. I agree with that.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I think I think I like, and again, there's a lot of like altruistic, really nice people out there that just want to make content for kids, and God bless them. But you're right. If there's like like a dude who's like honing in on a child audience, that always seems weird.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And it's like, hopefully there's not. Hopefully it's not. There's nothing weird going on, and they are just a good soul trying to provide entertainment for people. Amazing. But you also get a lot of fucking, you know what I mean? And so yeah, like, and again, whatever industry
All
or
right, boys.
media.
I think we've talked about child abuse for way too
Yeah,
long.
let's.
Hey man, you
So
watched the
after-
show. You put it in the Discord.
And then the White Chicks has been on the screen for a minute now
Oh,
because
go
again,
ahead.
it's a
After I watched it, I put on White Chicks. We put on White Chicks. We needed a palate cleanser. It's like, oh my god, can someone throw a pie? Can we see something funny? So yeah, put on White Chicks. I'd actually
we
never.
put on some comedy too.
Yeah, like I'd actually never seen White Chicks. Like, I love Wayans. I support the Wayans. I hope there's no skeletons in their closets. I don't think there is. They're great. But yeah, the last movie I saw about these dudes was, and I think it's still their best movie, is Don't Be a Menace. Like, amazing S tier comedy, one of the funniest movies ever. This was the next movie I saw by these guys. Heads until the other day, and it's like, so it's made in 2004, but it's such like a 1995 movie that, like, I get why this got horrible reviews, and they're like, this is a terrible fucking. Because in 2004, this is a 1995 movie. In 2024, I loved this movie. I'd give it an A. It's nothing's gonna be Don't Be a Menace. I thought it was.
I thought it was
Directed by
funny.
Keenan Ivory.
I thought it was funny back in the day too, though. I'm sure it's funnier now, but
Yeah. But people talk shit about this movie. It's got low ratings. Like this, I think won Razzies. They were like, "This is one of the worst movies of the year."
I mean,
but I thought it was great. I thought it was so fucking funny. Like,
Karina loves this movie. I hate this movie. I cannot stand it.
Really?
I cannot stand this movie.
Did you watch it back in the day? Like, yeah. Like,
Yeah, saw it back in the day. Absolutely hated it. Hated it every single day since then. Watched it with Karina. Hated every single second of it. Hate it now.
It's just a stupid comedy.
It just didn't work for me. It's too dumb. It's way
So
too
dumb.
goofy for me.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not the biggest fan of like goofy movies like this. And again, they're dropping like N-bombs and stuff like in the car when they're singing. Like, I don't know. It's such a weird movie.
It's so wild.
It's wild, yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like I
aside
can
from
see it
any of
aging
that,
weird. Yeah.
Like it didn't age great, but like I just didn't like the comedy in it. It was too silly, too slapstick, and it just did not work for me. And also, like, they just don't look believable there. That just, I don't know. It just doesn't. It didn't work for me. It just did not work for me.
They look like mannequins that have come to life.
Yeah, I thought that.
I don't know.
I liked it. I thought that was the best part of it, was that they looked so creepy.
Dude. And and again, you like it by the end but it's like uncanny valley. It's like, dude, because their heads are so much bigger than their bodies because of all the makeup that it looks so. They look like Big Head Mode from Bond.
Yeah.
Terry Crews crushing it.
I do love like the 90s fashion, and everyone's wearing like 3 times too big suits.
100%. Yeah. But yeah, we don't need to linger on it. Like, I just thought it was crazy that, and isn't that the gal from Boy Meets World?
No.
I really, I really liked it. The sister from Dexter, the gal from Freaks and Geeks. Like, it's got a good cast. Sweet Valley High.
What are you giving it, Nick?
I'd give it like a B or an A. Like, again, like, I still think that like the Wayans brothers, I like the way, like, don't be a that's the if you're gonna watch anything by the
That's the S of Wayne. That's a Wayne brother. We need to do a Wayne brothers tier list. Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one. Yeah.
We'll put that in the chamber. All right. So Nick gave this an A.
Yeah.
White Chicks A.
Because it's just
we went
nostalgia.
from
like again, like for me, it goes
what a
all
palette
the way
change
back
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two of the most offensive movies ever: The Quiet on Set and then White Chicks. Both offensive and very, very different. She's from Sin City. Like it actually has like a really good cast. I've always heard of this, The Last Witch Hunter. I've never seen this, but when did this come out? Like 2015. Wow. Oh wow.
Yeah. I would say watch this while you can, because I think it will get pulled off HBO Max at some point, and then I'm sure this will be a movie that you don't really see very often. This movie is a classic Vin Diesel piece of work. It's pretty much Chronicles of Riddick vibes, but it's John Wick. It's John Wick, but instead he's an ancient like Viking dude, as you saw with the beard, who gets a curse by a witch. Witches are like the bad guys. They're like kind of the Bible folk or the devil from John Constantine. So imagine you took out Constantine, the devil folk, and you made them all witches, and then instead of freaking John Wick, you have freaking Vin Diesel, and that's pretty much what this movie is.
Dope.
With 2015 graphics, it is bizarre. It's a total F film. It's a DF film, but because I like Vin Diesel and the action's kind of interesting, I would give it a B minus, but it's getting a C, and here's why. He fights the witch queen, right? The word queen to me, you should have like an army of bad guys. He pulls up on her twice in a cave where she's got like 5 henchmen. Before, like 5 people for Vin Diesel to fight before he gets to her, pretty much. I feel like maybe it was a budget thing where they couldn't have her outside with an actual army of the dead or whatever it may be. So instead, they go inside of a cave to find her, and there's only like 4 or 5 bad guy before they get to her. Very just the buildup is so large, and then when you get there, it's like, oh, it's whatever.
It didn't seem that hard for him after all.
But it's classic Vin Diesel lines, and the reason I give it a higher rating, I just love Vin Diesel. He's such a bad actor, but it works. It's just classic, like him chopping people down with a sword. Him? No, that's not him. That's a side character. Wait, is that him?
No, that's
with the hair too. No. You might be right, Jerry. You might be right. Yep, that is the hair. You're right, Jerry.
I think that was him.
Yeah, he's got like a weird hair. Yeah, that's him. Huh. That's the movie. The first 20 minutes take place like 1600s or some jibber jabber, in like a parallel universe where witches are real, and then it cuts to modern day.
Based on anything?
And
that's Michael Caine.
Yeah, Michael Caine plays his assistant, and then Elijah Wood takes over when Michael Caine falls ill. I don't want to give more spoilers. There's some twists that kind of happen later in the movie about all that. But yeah, I mean, the 3 lead men, Vin Diesel and the 2 of them, I mean, that's 3 bigger named actors. The female lady I've never seen before that plays kind of the love interest, not the witch. No one cares about the witch. You don't even actually see her face. Well, you see it, but it's all...
the witch? Oh, wow.
Yeah, the witch is, all make-uped up. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I gave it a C+. It could have been in the B realm, but the cave scenes with the witch just made it feel real tiny and tight.
Mm-hmm.
It's she's the queen of the witches, the way that they present it. And there's witches all over the world. Even like young people just doing witchcraft. And Vin Diesel's got to stop them all. Then her army should be like massive. You know?
Yeah.
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 Some
agree.
would be with her at that point, you would think.
Yeah. It took me out of the
Not
moment.
just
Took me out of the
select
moment,
few.
dudes. And that's I don't know what the hell.
Or like, yeah.
They explain that thing that's like a prison that swallows the witches and then freezes them or so. I was confused by that whole monster. There's a weird monster in the movie too that isn't really explained well. Yeah, it's its own little world. It's interesting, Nick. I think you would enjoy it for sure.
Dude, I remember when this movie came out, I wanted to see it. Like, where this is on WB or Max? I mean,
Maxterfield. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Chronicles of Riddick. I
Okay,
actually
Is it based on anything, or am I thinking
Dude,
of
Chronicles of Riddick.
this one's based on a comic, right?
which one?
Bloodshot. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I thought The Last Witch Hunter was based off that anime, the Witch Hunter Robin, but I don't think it is. I think it's like something unrelated. But I thought this was based off. They were gonna do number 2, but they didn't.
Yeah, well, that makes
Yep.
that
And they're like, no, we're good.
yeah. Story of Vin Diesel's current career. And then he kind of
Did we
got
get another Riddick movie?
I don't know, I think he
Or
got
what?
he's done. He got Me Too'd out.
Oh, did he really?
Another Riddick movie?
Yeah, there's like some women popped up. And honestly, I've heard some interviews with him where he said some real creepy stuff to the ladies that are interviewing him. So I'm not
I
surprised.
think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
one
I've
where he
even
like
seen that interview.
he stops the interviews like I just gotta say you're real beautiful, and you could tell the lady's
Yeah,
super. I don't know. There's some weird stuff that's like,
Yeah.
not looking good, Vin.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer because I'm a big Vin Diesel fan. Yeah, they got to do fast. Triple X4
Wow.
wasn't two.
Xander
Riddick.
Cage.
2 was straight to DVD. Like, oh wait.
I don't know. I never
3 had
or did 2 have?
3 had Ice Cube.
Two had
Three
didn't,
had
he wasn't even
Ice
into.
Cube.
Wait, Jerry, can you go back? Was there? Did I say there was a new Chronicles of Riddick? That's the franchise I care about more than even Fast. Like that's my Vin Diesel franchise.
Oh, on his home planet, Fury.
Fury. Is this animated or is that just a cool post?
I think it's just a poster.
Okay.
Poster.
Okay.
Oh, we've never been back to his home planet.
Mm-mm.
Can you click on David Twohy? I want to see what else is written and directed.
G.I. Jane
Fugitive.
wrote it.
You did.
Oh, he wrote Pitch Black
Dude,
and
this is
Riddick.
gonna
Yeah.
be awesome. Dude, I'm hyped. Fuck yeah.
Hopefully that happens.
Perfect Getaway.
Yeah.
Below.
Dude, G.I. Jane. I don't know if you guys are. G.I. Jane is great.
Waterworld?
Waterworld. Hell yeah. The Arrival. I like. Wait, The Arrival is not like.
Warlock.
Right.
It had like
Warlock. Hell yeah.
Critters 2.
Critters 2. Dude, what? Fuck yeah, dude.
oh, he's gonna direct it.
I think he's
don't
writing
know.
and
He
directing.
hasn't. What has he directed before? Okay, so he's done the Pitch Black movies. Makes sense. All right, that's fine.
I'm in.
All right, so what do we got? What's our
Um,
next topic? We're running late tonight, boys and girls.
Uh,
Oh, this is me.
Tubi,
I
is
was
this
like-
the great? Oh,
I'll just finish this. Good, great show. If you haven't seen it,
For
definitely
the
watch
first
it.
time?
No,
I've never seen
no,
it.
Okay.
I rewatched it.
I just rewatched it too while going to bed. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot of funny jokes. I like Andy Samberg. I really like Captain Holt. He has some of the funniest
Rest in peace.
lines. I don't know. Such a great cast. Such a great cast. They really do act well together. And like, if
All
you're
of 'em,
like
too.
again binging it and stuff, like for how much it takes place in the precinct or
Mhm.
whatever, it's like you don't really get tired of being in there. Like they do it well.
They
And
do.
They do go out enough, and like they name streets, and a lot of stuff they name, it's not there. They're like, oh, we went to a parking garage, and it's like, no, you didn't. So that's fun.
Did you like it better or less or more once Gina leaves? What was, or did you not care at all?
Gina adds fun to it, but also it's a thing where she's so goofy that it's hard, that it's like, wait, she's doing this crazy shit in a police precinct and no one can, it's a thing where it's like, she's a great character, but there's times where it's like, that's a little too wild. But
She's what's his name from Parks and Rec? Aziz Ansari. It's like the same character.
Like Tom
Yeah,
Haverford?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same.
So
It's
it
a
was
similar
fine.
character base.
It was fine when she leaves, but like, yeah, it's definitely less interesting when they are at the precinct, because that was where she wasn't a cop,
starred.
so that was her big thing.
Yeah.
But it was cool how she always spoiler pops back up for the heist episodes and stuff. So it's cool that they did bring her back like pretty much once a year or whatever.
Yeah, it's a great show. I as well just finished rewatching it.
Yeah, for sure. Like a S.
It might be an S for me, man.
A plus.
And what's his name?
Really good.
Can we go to the cast listing? Because I gotta give a shout out. What's the buddy's name? Because he's fantastic. He's
Joe Lo Truliglio.
Dude, he was one of the best.
Charles,
yeah,
I
Joe.
love Joe Lo.
Dude, he's such a great character actor. He's been in a million different things. He's always been really funny, and he really got to eat up the scenery in this show.
Oh my god! Like,
he's the highlight for me.
The whole not puns, but when he says something of like, "Oh, got my boys in my hands," or like when he does those type of jokes, it's so funny when they're always just like, it doesn't sound the way you think it does, and like he just keeps going. Like, he really is such a good.
It's
character.
such a good movie, man, or show. Such a good show. I will say though, it does kind of fall off at the end. Like the final season didn't feel like the final season, is what I would say. It doesn't fall off necessarily. It just didn't go out with a bang, which is probably why they had to end it. But
well, I mean, definitely COVID, and then all the police stuff that they were in. I think in a weird spot where it's like, yeah, we need to wrap this up, because I also think that last season was definitely the shortest of the others. But yeah,
it was COVID, and then it was
fine.
it was the whole cop thing, and then they were like, yeah, we should probably just nip this. Yeah, you're right, dude. I didn't think about it like that till you just said that. It's like, yeah, that's a really good point.
I didn't think about that either. Yeah.
But it was such a funny show, man. I really enjoyed it. It's one of my faves.
It really was. Because again, it's like they also make fun of themselves of being cops. It's not like a serious cop drama where it's like, oh, it's like they are goofy and blah, blah, blah.
And there's not a lot of those bullshit, and I'm not trying to be mean, but a lot of those bullshit heartfelt episodes where it's like, here's the deeper meaning. They don't do a lot of those. It's a lot of just good comedy shit.
Yeah. There's
Let me ask you,
very few.
Is there a Jim and eaten up all the time?
Kind of. Well, it's Sam Burglar.
Like a Jim and Pam.
Yeah, Sam Burglar ends up with the other chick.
But
go back to the image.
The office monopolized.
No.
A lot of the time.
No. They don't really.
They do for a season when they first start dating, and they don't want to tell everybody.
But not years.
And Charles doesn't know.
Yeah, no, it's once they get together, they're together, and that's it.
That's it for the whole show.
There's no they break up and blah blah blah. They don't really do that with anyone. Maybe a little bit with Captain Holt, but Charles, even that's not.
Charles kind of goes through a whole he first starts off divorce, or he ends up divorced. Then he's in love with what's her name, Rosa. No, Rosa.
Rosa, yeah.
For a hot minute, and then the whole Gina thing happens, and then he finds out, spoilers, Gina's his sister, even though they've been banging.
No, they don't find out. Their parents dating.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. You're right.
I like that. Like, he always introduces this is Gina, my sister. We used to have sex.
Yeah.
Charles
that's what I'm saying. Charles is so good. Charles is so good. That's why I remember it, Jared, because he starts introducing himself as that. He's like, "This is my sister. We used to have sex." It's so funny. Dude.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's their parents end up getting married, and that makes them siblings. Yeah. Dude, such a good Nick D. If you never watched it, bro, I'm telling you, you'll love it.
Yeah, it's definitely
gold,
I love
dude.
30 Rock. I love The Office. I love Parks and Rec. So yeah, I'll watch it. And again, I love this cast.
Yeah.
Like, great. I love everyone.
And like, you don't have to pay attention to every episode. So as we love to say, it can be a good background thing,
Secondary.
but it's so fun to just watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll watch it. I'll check it out. So it's on
Netflix.
Netflix.
Netflix right now.
I don't have
Netflix right
So
now.
Netflix and Peacock, I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
And
Yeah,
Telemundo.
definitely Netflix. Oh,
Okay,
wait.
yeah.
Oh, the first half is on Netflix. It's all on Peacock. That's what it was.
Okay.
I hate how they do that.
Okay. Bring it up.
Yeah.
I hate how they do that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with The Neighborhood. The first 4 seasons are on Amazon Prime, and then after that, they start charging you. It's so stupid.
Oh, that's super lame.
Yeah.
I feel like
super annoying.
Xfinity does a lot of bullshit like that. Like, yeah, my cable provider does a lot of that.
Yeah.
Here's seasons 1 and 2 of Rick and Morty, and then they're like, it's $3.99 for the rest of them.
All right. Is BK? Are you still here? I hope you are, because I'm about to say
Let me-
I
something.
think so.
I'm gonna say-
I want to open. I got a question to open up to. Is this the greatest video game movie ever?
Let me just say this off tops. I saw this last week in our in between show time period. This is my favorite movie I saw. I did see Ghostbusters, so you get what I'm saying. This is better than Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Best video game movie of all time. It might be Nick D. It might, but here's the
Wow.
thing. Here's the thing: is it's not really a video game movie. It's more of a documentary style
It's a-
film because
Yeah,
it's
like a
about
different- yeah.
Mm.
it's about homie, how he played the video game. Dad
became an
dad
actual-
hates that he plays video games. His younger brother's an athlete. His dad's a former soccer amateur pro. I don't know. Maybe he was in the minor league. That's what I meant by amateur pro. He was in the minors. I can't tell. I don't know shit about soccer. Then he, gets invited. He's so good at Gran Turismo. He gets invited to the first ever time they did this. And I don't know if they kept doing this. That's the one thing they don't tell you at the end of the movie. Did PlayStation and Nissan continue to do this program? I'm going to say no.
Did. Oh, really? I thought they did.
I feel like if they did, they would have mentioned it. It felt like the way they left it off at the end of the movie. Maybe they also wanted the focus to be on the first dude and not mention that there's been others. Even though that he has to make it into the pros. So from beginning of the movie to midway through, it kind of, I don't want to say it's a waste of your time, but like the whole time you're like, yeah, this is hard on you. And yeah, you're going through these trials and tribulations or what have you. But we all know you make it to the pros, homie, because this is, or else what am I, you know what I mean? Like, what am I watching if you didn't? I still think it's a really interesting movie. I'm not huge on car racing, but they do a really good job of making it look cool and fun in the movie that I didn't get bored with it. And it's not too overwhelming. Altogether, I really enjoyed the movie. I think I'm going to give it an A. I don't think it's an S tier category. I don't think I'll rewatch it. Wow. So it is still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still with Nissan or is it just Nintendo or PlayStation?
Mm-hmm.
It's a collaboration with
It's still
Nissan.
Nissan.
That's the interesting part. It starts off with Orlando Bloom. He's like the Nissan dude. So to break down the movie, Orlando Bloom works for Nissan. The dude from Stranger Things is a former pro driver who now just works on the engines. But Nissan has to have somebody sign off that these kids can go out on the actual track. So they get Stranger Things dude to come on in. And that's the movie.
Yeah.
That's legit. That's legit the movie. There's some other crazy moments, and there is a couple big scenes that I don't even want to get fully into. I really enjoyed it. I really did. Even if it wasn't based on the video game, Nick, if you just told me, well, I guess how would it not be based on the video game? Because the whole thing is that he played the video game. Okay, let's say the PlayStation wasn't involved. Because I will say this. Sony being involved is interesting because the beginning of the movie, you see Sony, you see the PlayStation logo, you see the freaking, they make the noise of the original system turning on. It's kind of cool.
Love it.
I like that, yeah. But then like moments throughout the movie, there's random like Sony products. You know what I'm saying? Like they definitely did some product placement. He goes to buy
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a MP3 player. He gets like some Sony MP because this whole movie takes place in like 2008, 9, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like juicing off the movie. I recommend it. It's on Netflix right now. I almost wish I would have seen it in theaters because it deserved my theater money. That's how good I think it really is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Granted, I went into it.
Did you ever play Gran Turismo?
I
Did you ever
did
play one?
the original one, the first couple,
Yeah.
or whatever. I think I played. Not like I didn't own them. Maybe I rented them.
Yeah, yeah. Same, so that's how. Yeah, I feel like I know I played like one, maybe two.
Yeah, I don't think I ever was like. I've never been really. After Cruising USA, I was never like super into a racing car game other than Mario Kart.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Is for a racing movie, is this better than Speed Racer?
See, I think you
Wow.
have to compare this one more to that like Mustang versus Chevy movie with Batman and
Batman
Ford
Thor,
versus Ferrari.
Ford versus Ferrari. There you go. Or like some of those other
Yeah.
like more serious racing movies. If you really want me to answer, is it better than Speed Racer? No, Jared. Speed Racer is probably my top 10 movies of all time. I love that
Yeah,
film. I think that's a fantastic film, especially visually.
Did you ever see Days of Thunder back in the day? The Tom Cruise one?
I don't think I
It's a good
have.
racing
I
movie.
should
Well,
check that out.
It was at least it was good back then. Like it's like the Top Gun of racing back then. There was that Great America ride, the Days of Thunder one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I think for serious race movies, I enjoyed it because look, dude, we all play video games. I like video games. So it's crazy to see somebody who's similar to us that's just playing the video games and then gets
Making money.
to go to that level and how happy this dude is
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the
To
cool.
be so good at Street Fighter, you start MMA fighting.
Yeah. Or so good at the Fortnite, you start going to war and winning wars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're like a Marine all of a sudden.
Yeah,
And
like
a
there's not that many
yeah.
Or a
possibilities.
carpenter.
Like car racing's kind of the only one that's like I memorized the tracks because it's kind of a simulator. Because he has the wheel.
Yeah.
He's not playing with controller. He's
Yeah,
playing with the
yeah.
wheel and the pedals. That's how he got
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's
Interesting.
and they're all the tracks in the game are based off real tracks. Look, watch the movie. Watch the movie, dudes.
Yeah,
But yeah, I guess Jerry,
And you said, what would you give it?
for car racing movies that are serious, I would say it is maybe my favorite, but that might also be because I just watched it. But if we're comparing it to Speed Racer, no. I give it an A. I give it a solid A. I don't think it's S because I don't think it had super rewatchability, but it's a solid film.
Mm-hmm.
Solid film.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Best racing movie, DeLuise goes
Yeah.
to. I'm halfway through this. I think I'm on episode 6.
This is the book
There's
you
either
read, right?
8 or 10. I forget. Yeah. Like and so it's really interesting. Like the book takes place over like 1,000 years, and so it's interesting that they're honing in on parts of the 60s and parts of modern day. I wonder if we go into the future. I almost kind of doubt it. Like if so, that'd probably be in the next seasons or something. It's cool. I would say definitely check it out if you're looking for like a weird sci-fi.
Is this
It's really
American
cool.
or is this something else? Because Netflix does a lot of
So-
international.
Yeah, the book is Chinese, and so like almost there's other nations in the book, but almost everyone you spend time with is Chinese. And so there is a lot of like they'll make certain people English or American because they're kind of just trying to make all of the science from all over the world. But there's there's a lot of like Chinese in the story, like Chinese culture is like a big part of it. And like it does seem like a lot of that stuff is coming into the book. Into the show. So it's like it's not a fully American, or they spend a lot of time in England. Actually, I don't know. There's Americans in it, but I actually don't even know if you're in America. You're either in England or China.
I think you're in China. Because I think it's
Yeah,
like,
like,
some different country, or like a future amalgamation of
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't
but
think
it's
you're in
good.
America.
I like it. It's like it will surprise you at times. That's a weird poster right there. Where it's like I wouldn't say it's like a super violent show, but it's like it is one of those shows where like all of a sudden there'll be some crazy fucking violence like out of nowhere. Like you're like, oh, okay. Like I thought this was a lighthearted alien story, and then all of a sudden it's like this is a thing about like how like science is like horrific, and how like the idea of like aliens, like there is no like alien, everything, like we shouldn't be trying to contact other life forms because the likelihood that they're cool is like almost zero, and like that's what this is, how like science gets us. So yeah, it's I'm looking forward to finishing it. I'll probably finish it tonight. I've been burning.
Nice.
What's funny too, and
Nice.
I'm not gonna get it. This is so far down the line, but like there's this funny thing at the end of the book where like there's like this secret in the book, right? And there's an answer for the secret that's not exactly canon, like because there's a sequel to this book, but it's not written by the author, and it makes this one fact about the story, right? And this show makes references to that secret so much that I'm like, wow, every episode you're playing with this idea that's like, it's funny that it's like I almost think they're gonna make this non-canon idea canon, or it's one of those things where they're like, well, we're just gonna keep alluding to it because we're never gonna get there. We're never gonna get 1,000 years in the future. And so it's just funny that there's this thing that I know that they're like beating you over the head with it, that like you don't think at all when you're reading the book because you don't know this thing, yeah, it's funny. They're hiding something in plain sight, I'll say that, and it's every episode.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't read it.
Yeah, I want to
Wait,
read
I
that.
read it.
it's so long. I did the audiobook. I did the audiobook, and each book I think is like 20 plus hours, so it took me like months of my commutes to and from work to get through it.
I think I'm gonna do that audiobook. That's a good idea.
I recommend it. It's good. The guy who reads
What
it
did
does
you do
a
it on?
great job. I did it on Audible.
Oh, an Audible?
Yeah, I did it on Audible.
Perfect.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
All three of them are
Kuna
on there.
started
You can set.
reading it and
I have
said
it. You
like
can read it, sign into my shit.
I
No,
think
so
she
wait.
got it on Audible
Like,
because she was saying like reading it because it takes place in China and like follows the Chinese families, that she was like the names get really hard just looking at them of kind of like who was this? So I think she
it-
switched to Audible and was like, yeah, it's easier in a
yeah,
sense.
because the guy does different voices for people, and then that is one thing that's like kind of tricky about the show is that in my head I'm thinking of all the names. So each episode, I'm like, as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, this gal's supposed to be this guy. I'm like, they completely, you know what I mean? Like, and it took me forever to, unless a big plot point happens, I'm like, oh, that's supposed to be like Lo Wiji, and it's like, some girl, and it's like, it just takes you a second to like match up with the people you remember, especially if they're like, all of a sudden it's a girl.
Yeah.
It's good. Real good. I definitely recommend it.
All right.
Too early to give a rating, but if it ends half as strong as it starts, like it's for sure a B. It might even be, it's for sure a B so far though. I'm really liking it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, I know people either really like the book or hate it, and so then I saw the Netflix show like dropped Friday or Thursday, whatever.
Yeah. Very science heavy. It's cool because I don't know anything about science physics. It's so science heavy, but it does a really cool way of explaining it in a way that's like download. Like it's like they're playing with these crazy concepts, and maybe I don't get them, but I at least understand enough to, like, you know what I mean? I don't have to pause. Just like, okay, keep moving. I'll get it, or I won't get it.
Yeah, that it's like, yeah, I'm here for the overall ride. It's fine. You're
Yeah.
scientists.
I'm
You
here for
guys
the
get it.
aliens physics.
Oh, Pico.
Oh, Pico made an appearance.
Not too happy about the appearance made.
Oh, Pico.
Wasn't feeling it.
Kicking ass, taking names.
So she was
Hell
like,
yeah. That's
Get
what she
your
does it.
jump cuts! Jump cut!
that's what she was like.
Hell.
All right. So if you're okay, if you're listening to the show or watching it, I'm going to give early access to anyone that is watching. If you just, I mean, not that this is cool by any means, but I'm just putting the links for those
The
two.
free grip tape.
No, not to free grip tape. Nope.
Dude, Sadhu's gonna be able to start his own grip tape company for a while.
I'm putting the
Got
links
so
for
much grip
the
tape back there.
Contra Costa Con. I'm just gonna ignore these fools when they do this. The Contra Costa Con and the Pizza de Laura. Both the links will be in the description of tonight's show. I think they should already be in there, and those links work. And we'll take you immediately to those videos, but the videos aren't available till later this week. I think the Contra Costa Con will come out tomorrow afternoon, and then the following day will be the new episode of Fat's Doof review. And yes, we do have another episode of Fat's Doof review that was shot on Saturday and will be next week's episode.
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the links just popped up.
Yeah, I refreshed it.
Just loaded in.
And they should work, Jerry. If you want to, I don't know if you want to check them, but they should take you right to those videos.
They did. Looking at the Comic-Con.
So there you
spinning
go.
around Golden Gate Ballroom.
You got early access to those two videos. Please like those videos. Leave a comment. We'd super appreciate it. You got anything else you guys want to say before I press the stop button?
Go see Late Night with the Devil.
Grip tape's one word to do, not two, but it's okay, buddy.
Yeah, no, I'm good on saying any last minute things.
All right, that's it. Peace. That's it, Jerry. Said it. Nothing. That's,
Peace.
all he wants to say is nothing.